easier it is to sell souls.
There is a new price on freedom, so buy into it while supplies last. Changes need to be made. No more curbside baggage. 7 p.m. curfew. Racial profiling will continue with less bitching. We've unified over who to kill, so until I find more relevant scripture to quote, remember, our God is bigger, stronger, smarter, and much wealthier. So wave those flags with pride, especially the white part.
We're selling addictive 24-hour candlelight vigils in TVs. Freedom will be defended at the cost of civil liberties. The viewers are glued to television screens, stuck, cause lots of things seem too sick. I use opportunities to pluck heartstrings for theme music.
Welcome to the Grift on the River Now.
I am Gonzo.
It has been a week, hasn't it? Whew.
Yeah, sometimes I think we should just change the name of the goddamn show to It Has Been a Week.
Oh, how was that anti-fascism roundtable? We're going to get into that one here in a minute, but my God.
It hurt my brain. It hurt my brain. Everything hurts my brain.
Yeah, well.
Everything is pain.
The look on David's face today,
Yeah.
I could hear the sound of silence playing as he stared off into the space.
You know what's really funny? I got this app for my watch that tracks my stress, my stress levels, like based on like my biometrics.
How you doing these days?
I am doing surprisingly well. It's like, you are not stressed at all. I'm like, what?
All right, is it possible that your biometrics are just a little on the low baseline all the time? Because
it's measuring things like the variability in your heart rhythm. Because apparently the higher the variability in your heart rhythm, the more adaptable to change you are, and the more adaptable to change you are, the less stressed you tend to be.
Okay, gotcha.
And my variability has been very high lately.
All right, good to know. Well, I'm proud of you.
I don't know.
I also love that you have a Fed watch like device. I'm seriously considering just going way more analog on everything and getting rid of all digital fucking footprints. Mainly because Tannerite is cheap, and apparently so are bulk pinball replacements from Temu. Just putting it out there. So, I should probably get rid of my digital footprint.
Okay. Good luck with that. You are not the first person to tell me that in the last couple of weeks, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Wow.
Doing that.
The exact same thing?
No, not the exact same thing. But
I was going to be like, wow.
But the eliminating one's digital footprint. I'm like, good luck.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
good luck.
Obviously, there's not much we can do about that these days. We all have...
Not those of us who have been saying everything with our whole chest and our full face.
On main.
Publicly.
For decades, yeah, I know.
I didn't make my Facebook profile public until I left the hospital.
Okay.
Because they were weird, and they would spy on you.
Gotcha.
And they would get mad for things you said that didn't have anything to do with working at the hospital.
It's weird. When I was in sales roles, I used to keep my presence more subdued and maintained, and I was more selective about my stuff, blah blah blah. But now, for the last decade, I'm like, fuck off, man. I am who I am.
Yeah, I don't know the login, but I actually do have a second profile out there somewhere on Facebook from when I worked at the real estate office, because they wanted us to have like a professional profile separate from our personal stuff. I
had a great lurking one that I had like built up as like an alt, as a way of avoiding the Zuck, but somehow like my login information got yeeted, and I can't get in anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know what email. I think I used like the a real estate office email to sign up for that account. So like it's fucking gone. But I had 8 friends, and they were all the people that I worked with at the real estate office that went out of business 3 months after they laid me off, because it was 2009.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, let's get into this fucking news, because there's a lot. I mean, more or less, I don't know. It's hard to gauge, because sometimes there's like a lot of one or two things.
I mean, for a week we had nothing but Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, there was no other news. It was all Charlie Kirk related.
Everything was weirdly related to Charlie Kirk. like.
And now the stuff that's Charlie Kirk related, everybody looks at it and goes, "Why are we doing this?"
Yeah. Did you saw that chat, those messages I sent to the group chat last night about like listening to that conversation at another.
Yeah.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't-
like a week of crying over Charlie Kirk, a person you didn't even know or like even pay much attention to before they passed. Like white people, dear white people.
It's not like we're talking Bowie or Prince
Right.
or anybody other than Charlie Kirk.
Dear white people, particularly white people who like lean from like the moderate to the right, like political violence is nothing new for lots of communities in the United States.
Yeah, just because you as a white person are noticing it for the first time.
Right.
And here's what the weird thing to me about the Charlie Kirk thing is, like, it felt like the overwhelming majority of people who had really strong opinions had never heard Charlie Kirk's name until he took one in the neck.
Yeah, and if they had, they'd like only
just
caught a
made
few
it-
clips.
They made
of
it
him.
their whole fucking personality.
Right. Like
You know, he was a podcaster.
he died for his speech. Like
he was a podcaster.
He was a podcaster.
He also
and-
tried to get other people killed for their speech.
Right. Like one of the best quotes about it was, "I don't condone what happened to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk condoned what happened to Charlie Kirk."
There are too many professors who like had to flee their jobs and lives.
Yeah. When he was asked about the violent threats that people he doxed and put on his website got, he specifically said those professors and teachers are responsible for the consequences of their speech. That was his quote. That was his position on that. Like, he created a website that doxed professors and put them in harm's way. They got death threats, and, like, some of them, like, credible ones, and
Lives were ruined.
Lives were ruined.
Careers were ruined. Lives were ruined. People had to move state. Like, it was bad. And, like...
And his response was, well, that's free speech for you.
And
like,
and he was going after people. It's like, oh, they said queer people are real.
Yep.
Corrupting the youths.
Yeah. So here we are. But yeah, well, no, that was a fucking long week. He was a fucking podcaster, and
I will say this: that week makes me fucking dread when it happens.
yeah.
That's going to be so much fucking worse.
Speaking of the
So
consequences
much
of that week,
fucking worse.
did you see that the state is forcing state universities here in Florida to
They have to
name
have like at least one Charlie Kirk road.
Charlie Kirk Road? Like, when this snaps back, like, to reality, I mean, that segues, I guess. Did you see the fucking, like, the rats are jumping ship thing? You know, you got Curtis Yarvin talking about how if Democrats
He wants
win,
to flee.
He wants to flee. And now Nick Fuentes is saying the same thing. He's like, they're going to be out for blood if Democrats win. Like,
Probably not. Like all right. If you did something illegal, you will probably face prosecution.
right.
But you're not going to be hunted in the goddamn streets. That's how you people talk about us.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Unlike most of us, quote unquote, on the left, and Democrats broadly, I wouldn't say no to hunting you people in the streets.
Here's the thing.
But I'm an outlier.
There's
Like,
a
I'm
difference.
rarity.
There's a difference between you're out in public and you see a Nazi saying Nazi shit, so you punch them.
Right.
That's different than going door to door
Yeah.
to check for Nazis and then murdering them.
Right. Like,
Those are fundamentally different things.
on a whole spectrum of ways that we can treat people. Those are two very
It's a chasm of difference.
right. Like, there's a lot of things in between those.
Yeah.
Like, so you're not going to get hunted, but I mean, I do see that what that indicates is that they are getting more and more concerned about a clapback, about a social, like, and because they live in this fever dream of their own wishes for violence.
Yeah, and they can't imagine that the other side won't do to them what they would do to the other side.
Yeah, because it always comes down to every accusation is a confession with conservatives, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're telling you what they would or want to do when they say what Democrats are going to do or are doing. Every fucking time. So yeah, Nick Fuentes wants to flee the country if Democrats win, which the rats are fleeing the ship, I guess.
Okay, good. Have a good time finding some place that'll take you.
Maybe Hungary.
Like, that's the thing. Like you think
Viktor Orban will like him.
You think Curtis? Yeah, that's about the only place. You think Curtis Yarvin's gonna have a good time anywhere in Europe?
Yeah, no, most of it.
Maybe they could go hang out with Milei in Argentina. That's where a lot of white nationalists end up when they're fleeing their home country for the crimes they've committed against humanity.
You know, us bailing Argentina out and this particular moment in history has a feeling about it.
There's a poetry to it. There's a poetry to it. And that being the thing that made a lot of like conservative Trump voting farmers be like, oh,
right,
this is what we're doing.
In the middle of a shutdown, they're still finding the money for that. Yeah. While also Argentina took all the fucking soy purchases
like literally
from the US.
Literally our entire like revenue from soy exports. We gave Argentina $20 billion and then gave them the means to completely take over our soy exports to China. And China is responsible like what 52% of the global soy consumption.
Right. Like there's a 1.5 billion people and like soy is their number one protein source. Like like we have a problem here.
Yeah. Hey, sorry Nebraska. Sorry Arkansas.
You voted for this, and now the government is like, you can go fuck yourself. But we're gonna bail you out like, with the tariff money that we're gutting you with. Like
and I feel
fucking.
I feel like we told them,
right? Like,
I feel like we said, because I also feel like I seem to remember this happening the last time this chuckle fuck was president.
Yes,
like. Almost exactly, but at a smaller scale.
The scale was way smaller, but yeah, a bunch of people got economically fucked under him, particularly farmers.
Particularly soy farmers.
You're right. And they had to be bailed out to survive, and still a bunch of them lost their farms, and like all of that happened then.
But here's part of the problem. All they remember is that when they had economic struggles, he bailed them out.
Right.
They don't remember that he created the reason they needed to be bailed out. They just remember he was the one who did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like...
Because we have the fucking...
Trump is an abusive dom who's good at aftercare. That's really what it is. He's an abusive dom who is good at aftercare for the American farmer.
So he's just like anyone who calls themselves a dom?
Basically, yeah.
I've seen too much, and I know too much about too many people to trust anybody who goes around calling themselves a dom.
Yeah, basically. Like, oh my God.
Like you can have that. You can have a healthy dynamic with someone like that, but not if they announce themselves as a dom.
When you have to say it, it loses a little something.
It's like it's the exact same thing as like if you need to tell people you're a nice guy.
Right?
You're not a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy. How come nobody likes me? I'm a nice guy, man. I'm nice. I'm a nice guy. Turned into fucking Cartman there for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what... we're going to get sued.
He would complain. He, of all people, would complain that he's a nice guy.
Yeah, Cartman would.
Because he genuinely believes it.
The South Park guys are going to sue us for your Cartman impression. Watch. We're getting DMCA'd over this one. Nah. No, actually, I don't think they would.
I don't think they would.
I don't think they would. All right, so government is still shut down over ACA subsidies and Medicaid, of course.
I mean, let's be honest about why it's really staying shut down.
Yeah, I mean, there's that and the Epstein thing.
Because they're not seating her. They're not swearing her in until the government isn't shut down anymore. Per Mike Johnson.
There's that. I mean, I think it's part of it, but I honestly think
they do also want people to suffer.
Yeah,
and
I also think Trump is very insistent that he wants this opportunity to gut the government, right?
Yeah,
he wants to use this opportunity to gut agencies he doesn't approve of, cut funding for cities, etc.
No, he doesn't know why he doesn't approve of these agencies.
Yeah, I mean, he
just knows he doesn't.
because Russell Vought and Stephen Miller are actually running the country, and
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Trump's posting AI slop videos.
If we just, it's
prove it.
amazing. It's amazing what would happen if we just got rid of two people one way or another.
I know, right?
Like, there are exactly two competent people who believe their own bullshit
Yeah.
in the entirety of the executive branch right now.
You know what I really can't...
Everybody else is just a narcissist trying to, like, jockey for power and fucking praise.
What I really can't wait to watch is all these chuckle fucks trying to vie for power once he's gone.
It's going to be so ugly.
It's going
to be so ugly because you can tell that it's not like they like each other. It's not like they want to work together. They're all going to want to be the person in charge.
Yeah, and like the nouveau right in the, like, you know, the fringe younger right-wing circles, like, don't like almost any of them.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
I am
the
positive.
cult of Trump is the only thing holding it all together.
I am positive that within 24 hours of, like, J.D. Vance ascending to the presidency, he is throwing Stephen Miller under the fucking bus for everything.
I'm
Fucking
everything. Like, Stephen Miller is going to find himself buried under a federal supermax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
He will be blamed for everything and protected absolutely not at all.
Right, not
Like, he will be sacrificed so quickly. and then there's no, and then at that point there's nobody around to, like, actually have an agenda.
You know what would be great about...
It's gonna be wild.
Watching... if Stephen Miller ever goes to prison, I want a documentary film crew to follow him. It'd only be like a week.
Yeah.
Because...
He wouldn't last.
He wouldn't last. And remember, he went and told all those gangbangers how hard he is.
I am aggressive and hard.
Yeah.
I am tougher than you.
You gangbangers think you're tough? We're tough. Like... Okay, champ.
All 4'10" of him.
My God, how mad they were at AOC over that.
What was beautiful was Laura Ingraham making him watch that to get his reaction. Like, she did that on purpose.
Like, what were they doing? Like, because they both then attacked AOC, but it was like...
Look at this great zinger she got in on you. How do you feel about that, Steven?
He's mad that he's only 4'10".
And then, I like the comment was like, she's so stupid she thinks I'm 4'10".
I'm actually 5'7", 5'8", something like that. I don't know. He's like, I'm actually 5'7". Like,
I'll have you know I'm 5'1.5".
Get right.
Man. Because he's got DeSantis platforms in his heels.
Oh my God! Speaking of DeSantis platforms in his heels, what do you think DeSantis is going to do now that he's going to be term limited out in a bit? Like he
I don't know that he's figured out he doesn't have a political career anymore.
I cannot wait to see what he thinks he's going to do after this.
I also don't know that he understands that the Florida Republican Party will turn on him if they feel like it's advantageous.
Yeah.
They will, and he has done enough grifting and embezzling from the state.
So much embezzling.
That I don't think he's prepared for what happens when they decide that it is useful to do something about that.
Like, one of the things I do want,
he's been combative with his own party.
Yeah.
His entire second term, and a good chunk of his first.
My dream world would be like a bunch of, like, you know, like fiery progressives winning office across the country, right? And taking back states and the federal government, and then being like, we're actually going to do something about all this bullshit. Because guys like DeSantis and Miller and the Trump family, like all of them, right, have enough fuckery to be buried under jails, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if the cult collapses, the GOP is going to find itself infighting.
And that's the thing. Even if Trump personally can't be prosecuted because the Supreme Court gave him immunity, he will spend the final few years of his dementia-addled life afraid.
Yeah.
when he has moments of lucidity, they will be moments of fear that he will suffer repercussions for his actions.
Right.
Like he will have a miserable, like, finality to his existence. He's probably miserable now.
Yeah. Speaking of consequences for his actions, you've got the series of settlements, including the Meta one now, with them deciding to give him $25 million towards the ballroom, like, which it's a case that Google won. It got dismissed, and Trump was threatening to just bring it back, but there was no case against Meta.
Yeah,
none. And Meta decided it's nothing but bribery. Like, let's be real, it is buying.
Yeah, it's just
influence. Like, these media companies.
I mean, a lot of times it's not even buying influence; it's buying non-interference.
Yeah, like
it's just just let us do our job, just let us run our business. We'll give you this money for you to, like, not be a dick.
Yeah, like, it's insane.
Yeah,
because it has, one, a chilling effect. You know that they're going to be less likely to go after him again, and two, like,
it's a problem that these people own every media platform.
Yeah, that's
like the entirety of our media is owned by these people. Social media, mass media, newspapers, television news, it's all owned by, like, these fucking lunatics.
From 1970 to today, trust in the media dropped from 73% to 34%, right? At the same time, series of deregulations in the 80s and 90s, large media conglomerates across the country, right, owned 25% of the media.
Yeah.
Right? And the rest was thousands of smaller local companies, or companies that owned regional, they owned 5 stations.
When you were only
states.
allowed to have one TV station and one radio station in a market.
Yeah. Like, and so they may have owned a few in a few different markets, but that was it, right? They didn't have these lockdowns. So they owned only about 20 to 30% of the entire media landscape back then, like larger companies. The rest was smaller and regional companies. So you see the two curves go inverse, right? Like the two lines converge.
It is a precipitous drop to go from Cronkite to Jesse Waters.
Yeah.
Like,
who keeps putting on the same masked guy to pretend he's different people.
He's different people, yeah. Like, that's a decision.
Like,
it works. It works for their audience.
It does.
Because their audience is incapable of discernment.
Like, but all right. So faces have certain features, right?
The fact that we can all recognize it's the same person from just this.
Yeah. Like, this is one of the more recognizable parts of a person.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, if you can't see somebody's, like, this part of their face, it's actually much easier to mask their identity.
Yeah.
Like, because the eyes and the cheekbone area, right, are one of the ways that we really, like, lock in on who a person is.
That's why Juggalo makeup fools facial recognition software.
Yep.
So does black metal makeup. So
it does.
You get a choice. You don't have to be a Juggalo. You can be a weird Norwegian kid.
But, so showing this part of the guy over and over and over again, we're just like, yeah, we know it's you, buddy. And, like, your body is the same, your head's the same shape. You've got you're like a ball cap and a mask. Who, it's me. Like,
speaking of this part being able to identify you, apparently Zenny, the glasses people, have created this coating that, like, blocks infrared.
Oh.
So just wearing the glasses makes facial recognition not work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's like a very slight pinkish tint. You can't do it on sunglasses, so it wouldn't work for these, but, like, regular glasses, like my regular glasses, there's, like, this very slight, like almost shimmery pinkish tint to it. And it prevents, like, facial recognition software from identifying you.
All right. This is our plug for Zenny. We're not even getting paid.
They just sell me quality glasses cheap.
I've never ordered from Zenny, but I think I have something I'm going to be doing now because I need new glasses.
These are prescription sunglasses, and with free shipping, they cost me $70 for prescription sunglasses.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I need to get my prescription updated anyway. So
and if I hadn't wanted them mirrored, it would have been like $25 cheaper.
Nice. But now that I know that they'll block facial recognition, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
brother.
They've got all sorts of. They've got like, I think, blue blockers and fucking anti-glare coatings. It's good shit.
Excellent.
They make quality products.
We need a sponsor. I'm calling on Antifa to be our sponsor.
Where's my Soros bucks?
Where's my Soros bucks? I'm sorry, Antifa, that your founder's girlfriend
Got nabbed. Caught up in the sting. I wonder if she was in a frog costume too.
The beautiful absurdity of the Portland protesters,
Just
like,
people showing up dressed as clowns and in inflatable suits.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's a good approach.
It is.
I think making a mockery of them,
right?
like, one, it's really hard to paint you as like a violent threat
Yeah,
when you're in an inflatable frog costume or dressed up like a clown.
it is. Now, obviously, it seems like the administration is hell bent on this escalating.
But they want a violent response so badly.
They do. Like, everything they're doing is
They
ratcheting up the tension.
specifically want a violent response from non-white people.
Yeah.
Like, our complexion, we could go out there and like fuck all the shit up we wanted, and it wouldn't be the same as if like one guy who was a slightly too tan did it.
Right.
That would be like the end of the fucking world.
Yeah. I mean,
If like somebody who was like vaguely ethnic showed up.
Arizona Congresswoman is being refused to be seated because of the Epstein list, more likely. His bullshit excuse about, well, I mean, there just wasn't a schedule. Like,
I mean, we seated those other people because like their families flew in from out of town.
right? Like, okay. Yeah, the fuck you, Mike Johnson. He also went on the news and basically said that he had no intention of like funding healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, now their new line is like, Lindsey Graham is out here saying, if the Affordable Care Act is so affordable, how come it has to be bailed out every few years? I'm like, it doesn't have to be bailed. Like, it's not that it has to be bailed out. You fucks just keep fucking up the budget and then trying to gut it every couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, it's affordable because it's a government-funded program, you fucking chuckle fucks.
And it'd be even more affordable if Joe Lieberman hadn't destroyed the public option.
God, if I could bring him back from the dead just to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fucking bike lock on a chain.
Yeah, like,
Just whip the shit out of him with it.
I'm thinking of a baseball bat with some nails in it, but we can take turns.
Might be over too fast. I want to savor it.
I'm going for body shots here, buddy.
Yeah.
Legs and limbs. Like, all right. Federal agents are in Chicago. They tried to murder a woman.
Yeah.
It's just
Straight up tried to murder her.
like, so this activist had been doxing ICE agents and Border Patrol agents. They put a bulletin out to be on the lookout for her.
Mm.
Her and maybe some other vehicles were following an ICE vehicle. Maybe. We don't know, like, that part. The ICE agents started like pretending they were being boxed in and about to be rammed, yelled, screamed, "Do something, bitch." Mm-hmm. Rammed her vehicle, jumped out, and shot her 5 to 7 times. Yeah. And weirdly enough, she wasn't badly injured.
Yeah, no. Because they're also bad shots.
Then they lied about the details of it. Yeah. In both the public statements were a blatant lie. The charging documents don't match the body cam footage from the one guy that was wearing his body cam and had it on. Accidentally. Which, in the body cam footage, amazingly, that agent goes up to the guy who shot the other one and goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "Don't talk," and pointed at his camera. Like...
How about that amazing photo of them shooting the priest in the face with a pepper round?
Yeah, who was doing nothing. He was just standing there protesting verbally.
Shot him in the face. A man of God.
Yeah, other ICE agents are just pulling up on people and pulling guns on them from their vehicles.
Yeah, not even getting out of their vehicles, just like
aiming guns at them and telling them to shut up. Like,
It's like last week, that one guy who, one ice agent who dropped his gun.
Yeah.
When he was trying to pull it on like people. Like dropped it and fumbled it and had to pick it back up. He's like, waving it around like a fucking dipshit.
I am sad that nobody just picked it up and blasted him. Like,
That's fair.
I know that would be bad for society, ... But do you see the fiery background behind us? I am getting to the why don't we just tear all of this down to the fucking nails and bolts with our bare hands mode. I know it may not be good in the short term, but maybe for those humans left afterwards, things would be better. I don't know.
The problem is I have this distinct impression it would be all the wrong people who survived.
That is possibly true. You know, what I do know is that none of this would have happened if, like, right now, Americans would not be acting so docile if we hadn't built up our military during the Cold War the way we did.
Yeah.
Like, unlike other countries where they don't have the military, like Nepal, like, you know, they didn't have the military force to just wipe out their population, right? We kind of do.
I also think that, in a weird way, I think the very popular idea that the Second Amendment was designed to protect us from a tyrannical government has kept us docile.
Yes.
Because it has always kept us like, well, it's not bad enough to start shooting yet.
Right.
So therefore, if it's not bad enough to start shooting, the government can't be tyrannical.
When the amazing thing is that, like, yeah, that one piece of the intent was for states to have organized militias, right, that would fight against the government. Like, you know, we have all of our founder myths wrong in this country to
I mean, we're also
drastic degree.
Yeah, I mean, unless you go out of your way, you're not taught actual real like
right.
Everything you're taught about, like, say, George Washington as a child is just made up bullshit.
You're right.
It was made up like 100 years after he died. I died, cut down a cherry tree.
Let's mythologize this guy, because
he had wooden teeth.
yeah,
They weren't slave teeth.
They weren't.
He didn't rip out his slave teeth and make himself a set of dentures.
never
They
did
were
that.
wooden teeth.
Nope.
Just pine tree.
Yeah.
His breath smelled like the forest.
Yep. And he
But like in a good way, because it was minty fresh.
and he did not have any of those weird relations with his female slaves that he shouldn't have had.
Well, he wasn't Jefferson.
Well, that was the one. Washington apparently had multiple, because of course he did.
We know Jefferson had multiple.
Yeah, probably. But there was the one he was in love with because she looked like his wife's sister, because she was his wife's sister. Ugh.
America. Fuck yeah.
Speaking of which, Mayor Brandon Johnson, who, I gotta say, the right particularly hates this guy, and I have a feeling it's because he's both left-wing and the complexion of his skin, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It is interesting that, at least in the beginning, they were exclusively targeting cities with black mayors.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's a hoot.
That was... It's expanded now, but it started with just cities with black mayors. But Brandon Johnson is basically taking a bunch of steps preventing ICE from using, like, any city services. Like, they can't park on any city property. They can't stage there. Police are now barred from assisting them as backup.
I think they should start arresting ICE agents.
I do too. Like,
Here's the thing. If you're going to go out there and you're going to start, like, black bagging people and refuse to identify yourself, like,
you're a criminal.
You're a criminal. Like, there's no way of knowing whether you're actually a government agent or not.
And now
we've had instances of people pretending to be fucking fake.
I listened to a podcast with a lawyer who was arguing about why that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Right? And
I think it's a great idea.
and the thing is, he goes, yeah, plainly, the supremacy clause and qualified immunities would kick in. Right. So, yeah, these all would get federalized and they'd get tossed, right? For the most part, except for, like, egregious cases. But what would happen is a couple things. One is it would take years for those things to wind down.
They'd be forced to litigate it.
Yep. Two, you could do them, if you did them in jurisdictions all across the country, it would take a while for the Supreme Court to take the case. And even after the Supreme Court took one of those cases, a city, a state, a municipality, right, could find another way of doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So you would then send a chilling effect to ICE. Like,
Yeah. Because here's the thing, and this is true of all of us. If any agency wants to arrest you, they can find a reason.
Yeah.
There's always a reason. Like, even if it's not the reason that, even if they're not doing it for the reason they say they're doing it, any one of us could be arrested at any moment, and they could find a reason to charge us with something.
Right. Now, we could win.
Yeah.
There's...
But also, like, just the trauma of putting somebody through the legal process is enough of a deterrent.
the cost of it, the trauma
Like,
of it.
you're an ICE agent, and you see a couple of your buddies, like, get hassled
Yeah.
prosecutorily. You're gonna
get
second
carted
guess.
off in cuffs.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
You're
and
gonna-
spend at least 3 days. Like, they do it on a weekend, Friday night, right? They do it on a Friday night. They don't book them until Saturday morning.
Do like a mass instance of it, like on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So it's a long 3-day weekend.
Yep. They don't get
And
fucking...
then do enough of them that like you've overwhelmed the system, so it's like it's going to take a while to get through all you guys. We got to do this one at a time.
Oh, and remember, we have to do ICE. We're now required legally to do ICE checks to make
on
sure you
all
guys
of you,
are all...
yeah. Like, I mean, you say you're ICE agents, but you won't identify yourselves. So how do we know you're not just cartel members kidnapping people off the streets?
Yep. And so they get delayed because like, you know, when I spent that little trip in jail, right? Like, it took an extra 12 hours to get me out. Why? Because of new ICE rules, right?
Yeah.
Like, where I had posted bond. Like,
I normally don't like the idea of weaponizing law enforcement in this way.
no, but
Sometimes you have to use the tools available to you in a perhaps less than ethical way to get an ethical job done.
and now there's a history here too that, like, during the abolitionist era before the Civil War, right? Northern states were doing that. They were arresting federal marshals, right? Who were attempting to enforce the Fugitive Slave Act, right?
Yeah.
And those cases, a lot of them got basically just dropped, right? But it was one of those, like, you were sending a message to the federal government, hey, this isn't worth doing, right?
Right.
Federal marshals were reluctant to do it. They were like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. And, you know, in states where, like, you know, if a crowd stepped up and, like, beat the shit out of or killed a federal marshal to protect a slave, right? Well, like, the local juries weren't convicting.
Yeah.
So,
There was nullification.
yeah, there's nullification.
Yeah.
So federal agents were like, no, I'm not.
I don't know the specific numbers because obviously they don't release them, but I have heard a lot of reports of people who had initially signed up to be ICE agents, deciding that it's not a job they actually want to do once they get out there and start doing it for a little bit.
I'm betting, and I remember a lot of older ICE agents have decided to leave too,
Yeah.
because it's like,
They don't like. I never liked ICE
no,
from its inception, which it's half my age.
yeah, it's
Like, which is, it's not like it's been
It's less than half our age.
It's not like it's been part of our government for like fucking no.
CBP, which had a more,
What, 2003?
yeah, 2003. CBP had a more expansive, like, now we've again retasked them to mostly immigrant catching, right? But it used to be like that, you know, it was just CBP for most of our lives.
Yeah,
And
that was mostly like contraband at the border.
yes, that's
They
what
weren't
they
doing a lot of immigration stuff. It was like, you're not allowed to bring that in. We're going to confiscate it.
Yep. And they tracked smuggling and things.
This is an exotic plant or animal. You're not allowed to have it here. We're going to confiscate it.
Yep. Like, used to be at least justifiable in most of the uses. The immigrant catching I've never been a fan of, but
No.
contraband I don't really care about. Like,
But like, it's funny to weird example. If you watch the movie From Dusk Till Dawn,
oh yeah,
the scene where they're crossing into Mexico and they're going through customs,
right?
they weren't looking for like undocumented migrants. They were
No.
looking for contraband in an RV.
Yeah, I mean, fuck,
They were doing a customs check.
before 9/11, like, I've been to Mexico twice, right? Once was, well, before 9/11, and once was after 9/11, right? And the before time was literally just, I needed an ID. I didn't even need a fucking passport. I just needed an identification. ID card.
Yeah, but
Like-
I remember back in the day, like along the Texas border, it was like they didn't even bother to check. You just
Right.
came and went freely. Like there were so many people who lived in Texas and worked in Mexico, or lived in Mexico and worked in Texas, and they just crossed back and forth as they wanted to
Yeah.
every goddamn day.
That was how it was, and we've fucked that up. And it's like, We have this bizarro conception of like legal immigration, illegal immigration. It's like, guys, like
All I know
humans
is
move.
my family showed up. Like my ancestors, like
Right.
some of them got here like as far back as the Jefferson administration. Some of them didn't get here till like 110 years ago. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But they just at that point you showed up. You showed up and you're like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Maybe you had to do like a 2-week stint in isolation if you came from a country that was known to be in an active tuberculosis epidemic.
That was it.
That was it. And then you were just let in. Maybe for a certain period of time, you'd be like given an opportunity to de-ethnicify your name if it were particularly difficult to pronounce for English people.
Our biggest waves during the beginning of the bureaucratic state there were, the Ellis Island waves, right? And yeah, it was write your name in a registry, a week of quarantine.
Yeah.
Like that, come on.
And it was like, why are you here? You could just write stowaway.
Stowaway.
Stowaway was a perfectly acceptable,
You could write exile.
Yeah.
You could be like, they kicked me out.
And we're like, all right, man, just get a job and pay your taxes.
Yep. Don't fuck up.
And I'm sorry, but it should not be anything more stringent than get a job and pay your taxes.
Yeah.
I think I find citizenship in general a weird concept.
Yeah.
I think everything should just be residency. Oh, you live here, you're part of the community, you're part of the local economy, you pay taxes, you receive services.
Mm-hmm. I
think it should be that simple. And I think it should be global.
One of the things I loved about Einstein was that he later in his life had multiple citizenships and was like he didn't officially renounce his citizenship anywhere, but he rhetorically did. He was like, I renounce my citizenship to any country. I'm a citizen of the world. This is a globe. I've lived in 3 countries.
Yeah.
Right? We've had multiple world wars and my ideas go everywhere. Why do I need to think of myself as anything?
It's weird to me that you can move to another country and not be a citizen and still be a citizen of a country you don't live in and pay taxes to the country that you don't live. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And this is not just a U.S. problem, because despite all of it, we still have a shockingly easy country to immigrate to compared to Europe, for example.
Yeah,
depending on the
country. Yeah,
depending on the country. But
and of course they all have those weird rules about descendancy.
Yeah, I really genuinely believe in global open borders.
Same.
The first things we did as a species was walk away from where we were,
right,
and settle somewhere new.
How?
We've been doing it for 300,000 years.
How did we get nationalities and races all over the world?
Yeah. We just wandered away.
That's how. We all started as brown people.
Look at
in sub-Saharan Africa, and now we went everywhere.
Look at the fucking Aboriginals in Australia. They're like, what if we get on a boat and go 8,000 miles that way?
Yeah.
We don't even know if anything's out there. We're just gonna go and hope we don't fucking die.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They didn't die.
Till the English showed up.
Right.
That is a theme in world history. Everything was fine till the English show up.
I mean, Europe and its bizarre, much of this whole nation state fucking borders bullshit is just hey, look, European feudalism was fading away, but what are we going to keep from it?
Right. And so much
that,
for
that garbage.
We have nation states and borders around the world because European colonial powers needed to be able to mark their territory.
Yeah.
That's it. You look at Africa, every single line on that fucking map is this is the Dutch, and this is the English, and this is the Italians, and this is the French.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid.
This is the fucking Belgian kings.
Oh, Leopold. Boy, do we not miss you. Rest in piss, Leopold.
He really might be history's greatest monster.
He might be, yeah. This is the first modern monster.
Yeah.
Created a lot about, propaganda as we know it, etc. Federal judge has blocked Trump from using National Guard in Portland, but Texas is sending troops to Chicago.
So, yeah, we've reached the red states invading blue states part of 2025.
Yeah.
Which...
It's... The state militias, because that's what the National Guard is.
Right.
The state militia of Texas is occupying Illinois. While we are technically one country, we are a collection of micro countries in a federalized system.
Yeah.
And so, technically, one of our micro countries is occupying another of our micro countries.
Watch Greg Abbott send so many Texas National Guard so many places that when they have an emergency, there's no one there to help.
Yeah.
And you know what the worst part is?
We're still in hurricane season?
He'll get reelected.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with the fine people of the state of Texas, but y'all confuse me.
They do have a huge voter turnout problem. Like, their
They
turnout
do.
is one of
They
the lowest
do.
in the country.
Here's the funny thing about Texas. You know what they have the most of compared to
Registered
Democrats?
Well, sort of.
Well, compared to Republicans, they have more registered Democrats than Republicans.
Well, they don't actually register in Texas. It's a little weird. But what they do have is like primary registrations.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I've heard about that though. From
a lot of independents
from some
too.
people I know in Texas politics. It's a bit of a misnomer because conservatives in their blue cities like Dallas, Austin, right? Houston. Conservatives jump over to vote in their primaries
Because they're dicks.
so that they can influence who the primary candidate's going to be. So there's a big there's so many Democrats in part because a bunch of them are actually conservatives that go and tip, like they want the centrist, the moderate, the squishy, like neoliberal who's going to cut taxes and fund the police, right? They want that guy.
What's funny is like Democrats could do so much better in Texas if they would just dial back the gun rhetoric a little bit.
Yeah, like Beto fucked himself.
Beto could have and should have curb stomped Ted Cruz.
He was doing so well,
but he went so hard.
Yeah.
On like, we're going to ban assault weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, you lost.
Yeah, we're going to take your guns. What the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up, Beto.
Like, even if you intend to do that, you don't say it.
Right, just...
Especially once you're through the primary, you're in the general election.
I think Democrats nationwide need to back the fuck up off guns. Like,
that's the thing, they don't accomplish anything by doing it.
They don't. It's a losing issue. It does make, like, I know a bunch of, like, actually fairly progressive libertarians, right? Like they're minorities in their party, but they still exist, right?
Right.
And they're like, look, the one thing I hate about Democrats is they make me, a law-abiding person who likes guns, feel like a criminal.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess like, if you've got a fucking, $5,000 gun collection, and in all other issues, you're like, oh yeah, no, trans rights are human rights, and like over policing is bad, and you might vote for a Democrat at least in a local election, right, or for president, whatever. Like, and then they're like, no, but we want to take away your $5,000 gun collection. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Right.
And here's the thing: having more guns will lead to more gun violence just because it's convenient.
Right.
Like what you really need to do is do something about the fact that people keep wanting to fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
Like maybe address that, because that is a social problem we have in this country that other countries don't seem to have to the same level.
Yeah, and I will admit that all the research does suggest that like our proximity and access to guns increases the danger of that social problem. Because every country has violent people and every country has social divisions, but it's like
it makes our interactions more likely to be fatal.
Right. And so that is a problem.
But I mean, like, the UK does have a stabbing problem.
Exactly, yeah. It's just fewer people die from it.
That's why you can't get a knife bigger than this over there anymore.
Kitchen knives are fucking banned over there. It's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, I don't think so, but, it's hard to get. Like,
their knife ban, like, it's genuinely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's also the English, and
right.
I don't expect anything but stupidity from those people.
Yes, that's
because
fair.
I don't respect them because they're English. And I am confident that our 2 UK listeners are not English. I am sure they are Welsh or Irish or Scottish or a civilized people that are not the English.
And if you do happen to be English and you are still our listeners, I assume that you're more civilized than your peers.
I assume that you feel about your brethren what I feel about your brethren. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening.
What's wild is there's lots of fine English people that I don't dislike, right?
I'm friends with some English people.
But fuck England. And fuck the English.
But every English person I'm friends with agrees.
It's like, look, Americans, we suck. We are
Oh, I say fuck Americans all
fuck
the time.
Americans all the goddamn time.
I do appreciate the English for being like the one demographic globally that it is socially acceptable to hate everywhere in the world.
I mean, yeah.
No one will ever call you a bigot for hating the English.
I mean, there's
You can be bigoted against anybody else.
only one unifying trait celebrated by the majority of countries around
So like
the world.
114 countries
And it is
have an independence from England day.
yeah, a day of independence from England that is celebrated in their as a national holiday. Like,
See, this is what happens when you have at some point in history had the largest empire on earth.
yeah.
Like, that's our fate as Americans.
Yeah, there's a reason that people are like saying "fuck America" when they fucking protest their own government in half the fucking world.
Yeah,
right. It's not our freedoms, guys.
No,
it's
our bullshit.
It's our bullshit. It's the actions we've taken in their countries. Speaking of actions we've taken in their countries, our country, James Comey has pled not guilty of the charges that he lied to Congress. We're not entirely sure exactly what lie it is because they haven't said, like, the charging document is being vague about that a bit. Like, at first I read it and I thought, oh, it's this thing, right?
But no,
because we're not sure who they're claiming that he approved to talk to the press, right? Mm-hmm. It can't be Andy McCabe. Andy McCabe has publicly said on multiple occasions that he didn't get the approval from James Comey,
mm-hmm.
right? That he told him after the fact, and Comey didn't even remember that, but
right.
that, in passing maybe, they tried to charge Andy McCabe, and those charges got dismissed, right? Like, he won that case. So we're not sure.
Like, I mean, this is one of those things where they're not doing a prosecution to get a conviction. They're doing a prosecution to bully and intimidate.
Yeah. And like
anybody who might go against the administration.
14 out of 23 of the grand jurors came back on that bill, and it was a struggle to get that.
Yeah.
Like, and they no-billed him at first. It was like, this is a mess. Like, no prosecutor should have brought this, but they're doing it.
Well, when you're only an insurance lawyer, you don't know that.
I mean, they got rid of all the good lawyers who were like, I am not touching that.
Yep.
Stephen Miller and Russell Vought, as we said, are essentially in charge of everything. Miller is spreading this narrative that, like, there's an insurrection. He's going on the news, like, all the time. Like, talking about the countries are at war and judges are usurping authorities that they don't have. Yeah. You see that CNN interview? Yeah. Like, it was nuts.
And I'm positive that in the daily briefing that Trump gets, it is 95% Stephen Miller generated AI slop about how dangerous and bad the world is.
Yeah.
And Portland is burning. Because you see Trump talking about, it's like, they don't even put glass in their windows anymore because it's been on fire since 2020.
Yeah, speaking of CNN posting that photo.
That was the most irresponsible bit of alleged journalism I think I've ever seen.
It was the King riots. It was a photo.
1992.
From the fucking King riots. Jesus Christ. And Fox, of course, is using photos from 2020.
This was a photo from a riot that Ice-T and Slayer recorded a song about in 1993. This is a 32-year-old song based on a 33-year-old picture.
Hey, and Sublime, also, great song about it, too.
Yeah.
Which is the only Sublime song I really enjoy, except for 40 Ounces of Freedom. I like that one, too. But
I didn't hate Sublime until one really unfortunate night in 1995, but we're not going to get into that.
my problems with Sublime are mostly about Santeria.
It's a terrible song.
It's a terrible song, and it's way overplayed.
I don't like What I Got either.
Yeah, no.
Like, I heard it too much.
Yeah, it's one of those songs that's like, oh, it's fun the first couple times you hear it. Like, and then, nope. Former Surgeon Generals, like a bunch of them, wrote a letter stating that JFK is endangering people's lives.
Well, I mean, he did just say that the autism rates for boys who are circumcised early is double the autism rate of boys who aren't, because probably they are given Tylenol.
None of that is true.
All of that is deranged.
All of that is deranged. None of that is true.
He's just got baby dicks on the brain.
Like,
now here's the thing. I think we should stop circumcising.
yeah, like,
I don't think we should perform any unnecessary surgical procedures on anyone.
it is something, though, that only comes into my head when the topic comes up.
Right, yeah, I never think about it.
I never think about baby
Never
dick.
think about it.
Why are you people thinking about babies' foreskins? Why?
All I know is I don't have to deal with smeg.
Yeah,
I don't have to, like, go out of my, like, it's easier for me to keep my dick clean.
If I'm having a busy week and I go like 48 hours without a shower because I haven't gotten like too terribly sweaty, but
Yeah.
I've been too busy to.
You don't have to worry about getting really gross.
My dick is still relatively suckable.
I still don't think that it should be like a thing that I don't believe in unnecessary surgery. I remember a friend of mine, she was born with like two of her toes slightly fused together. Like
Right.
there was a little tiny flap of skin between there. And by the time she was a teenager, like it was enough that there was enough of a little thing in there that it caused like some fungal problems.
Okay.
But it would have been like a little millimeter incision to like
Right.
at birth. And her parents were like, no, that's unnecessary, so we're not going to do it. And it's just a thing she deals with now.
Yeah.
Like, because
But we cut millions of baby dicks every year, which is
and
weird.
I know of people who had it done poorly and had scarring, and then like they got ugly dicks for the rest of their lives that don't feel as much. Why you want your baby to have an ugly dick?
Yeah.
Why? And I know. Here's the thing. Fucking. This
Look
is
what
all.
they took from me.
This is Cornflake's fault.
What? Oh yeah,
John Harvey Kellogg.
Oh god, yes.
John Harvey Kellogg.
Yes.
Invented cornflakes to keep people from masturbating, and he pushed circumcision to keep people from masturbating.
And his lunatic brother was also.
yeah.
They were big on this shit. It was weird. Welcome to Wellville. I think. Yeah,
Road to Wellville.
The Road to Wellville. That movie is fun, but also
It's not good, but it's fun.
It's fun. But boy, like I read about the story of it afterwards. I was like, this is not very dramatized at all. Holy shit, these people were fucking weird.
I've heard that the novel the movie is based on is excellent.
Nice.
Like excellent. Like apparently there was a lot lost in translation.
That makes sense. I mean, that happens a lot.
I mean, the tone was weird on the movie.
Yeah.
Like it didn't quite like it wasn't really a comedy, but it wasn't serious. But it's like the story is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just and those fucking buck teeth on fucking Anthony Hopkins.
But I deeply enjoyed the movie. I did.
Him inspecting people's feces.
Right? Yep.
He was also a Seventh-day Adventist.
Courtney and I saw that on the screen.
Nice. Seventh-day Adventist. That's why.
Yeah.
This was all because of the goddamn first or second Great Reformation. Then his brother said, what if we put sugar on the cornflakes? And he lost his goddamn mind. But that brother became a multimillionaire.
It's fair. Pam Bondi, that disastrous hearing.
That was bad. The
bad.
fact that she all but admitted without admitting that there are pictures of Donald Trump with young girls.
Yeah. So another witness had mentioned it publicly and it had been publicly reported on.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the Senate was going to ask about that. And Senator Whitehouse starts asking about that. And Bondi completely evaded the question, refused to answer, like deflected, went on the attack against Whitehouse about him taking money from somebody who knew Epstein and claiming that this person was a really good friend of Epstein's when it was actually like just somebody who had like known him. Apparently,
And Jeffrey Epstein was somebody who made sure that everybody knew him and he knew everybody.
Yeah. So it's like I
don't trust that guy. Like
Ever.
if you know that guy, like if you have a guy like that in your local community, don't trust that
them.
guy.
No.
Don't trust the guy who wants to be in a picture with everyone all the time.
never. If they want to be in a photo with everybody all the time and they're taking pictures with everyone, don't trust them.
They're doing that for a reason, and it's almost never good.
Yeah. But like the weird thing about it was that her notes, the Reuters got a photo of her notes throughout it, and that she had like zingers already lined up and like a folders like ready to go with like, if they ask this, come back with this zinger and deflect this way. And it was like, it looked pathetic.
It looked pathetic.
Like,
But here's the thing. She didn't want to actually lie under oath.
yeah.
So the things that she refused to answer are very telling.
Right. Like Donald Trump.
Like Donald Trump being photographed in compromising positions with underage girls. And she would not say, no, those photos do not exist.
Right.
Because she didn't want to perjure herself.
And like, this is an easy question. Like, if
they don't exist, that's a real easy question. Like,
Yeah.
Of course not. No
if they
such
don't
photos
exist, or if you don't know that they exist, or you've not had a conversation with the president about it, because
Right.
those are the ways that they ask those questions,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like, to my knowledge,
those photos do not exist.
Right.
If you've never had any experience or knowledge that those photos may exist,
Yeah.
that's all you got to say. You're not saying they don't exist. You're saying you don't know that they don't exist.
right, like, I'm unaware of the prior testimony or the contents therein. Like, but I mean, that's why it's going to be impossible for them to prosecute James Comey, because he
Yeah.
was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Right.
and if it did happen, I don't know. Like, I don't remember.
I
haven't done that, but if the other thing happened, I don't remember.
This does lead me into, I believe it is inevitable that Howard Lutnick's going to be called to answer some questions.
Yeah, because we talked about that last week.
I believe we talked about that
last week. He just basically was like, yeah, Epstein was the greatest blackmailer of all time. Like,
He had a massage room where guys like Bill Gates would get rubbed by young girls, and he'd film it all so he could blackmail them. Greatest blackmail in the history of blackmail.
Like, what the fuck is happening? I mean, all of our problems right now are because...
Yeah, everything that is like the not the only reason, but the one of the reasons that everything that has happened in the United States of America since January 21st is to protect a cabal of child sexual predators.
And one particular child sexual predator.
Who happens to be the president of the United States of America.
Yeah. Like, that's what this all looks like.
I don't want any of them protected. I don't know why we have to keep saying this. I don't give a fuck if this ruins Bill Clinton's life.
No.
I'm fine with ruining Bill Clinton's life. I've been pissed at him for like 30 years.
Yeah. I don't care. Like,
Fuck Bill Gates.
Stop bringing up all these. What about this? What about? I don't give a fuck.
Like fuck
the
Bill
only
Gates.
reason I care is if you're gonna do it, come with receipts and evidence so you can convict them. If you don't have that, shut up.
Fuck Bill Gates. Fuck Bill Clinton. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Prince Andrew. Fuck fucking Dershowitz. Fuck
Dershowitz out here like. I got massages from young people, but I
never took my underwear off. And you know what? I haven't heard his name come up, but I guarantee you it's in there. Fuck Lawrence Krauss.
Oh yeah, Lawrence Krauss.
Fuck Lawrence Krauss. I know.
Yeah, So you watched that Sean video? I
didn't watch that Sean video yet. I just know Lawrence Krauss.
Yeah,
enough to fucking know.
Yeah, Lawrence Krauss hung out with Epstein. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of weird shit going on and allegations that are swirling around out there.
He's had various allegations for years now.
For years. Lots of them that seem very credible. But Lawrence Krauss seems to be tied to it.
The fact that he was one of the people who, like, got all in a tizzy about Elevator Gate in and of itself back in the day is telling.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to have really strong negative feelings about.
It is. It is. Like, it was so innocuous that, like, you know,
she was giving some free anonymous advice.
Yeah. And, you know,
on how to not pick up women.
Yeah. And as a guy, you could ask some questions like, you know, like, hey, like, what are the boundaries of approaching people, right? You know, like.
Yeah. That's a good follow-up.
That's a good follow-up.
And you know what? I am positive that Rebecca Watson would be happy to answer that fucking question if you asked it respectfully.
Yeah. Like, because our later topic, it is hard out here for guys to adapt to the new world. Now, we're going to talk about that later. A lot. But, like, yeah, that's a valid, like, follow-up. You really want to know that because, obviously, we've all been socialized to just approach, right? Yeah. And there's lots of ways that can be done wrong.
And we are socialized to make it weird.
Yeah.
Like,
we are.
We are actively encouraged to be weird and aggressive about it and persistent
God, yeah.
And don't take no for an answer. Just keep trying.
Hey, look, I still want to. I'm gonna stand out in front of somebody's house with a boombox playing Peter Gabriel one of these days.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's,
Based on photos I saw the other night, it might be Jamichael.
Jamichael.
Yeah. I feel like that's enough. I feel like we've said enough about that.
Said enough about that.
We don't need to drag him into it any more than I already have. He's never going to hear this anyway.
He likes it when I treat him like I'm his daddy. Anyway.
Well, you are meme daddy.
I am meme daddy.
We're just sprinkling some lore throughout.
Lore out there.
A little sprinkle of lore.
Democrats and voting rights groups are preparing for another gutting of the Supreme Court of the Civil Rights Act. If this case goes the way that they fear it will,
Yeah.
States in the South could like squeeze out another like 19 more seats.
Yeah.
But they run the risk of like making all of these well gerrymandered seats into
Potential swing seats.
seats. Like, so it's like a double-edged sword. It's bad for Democrats and democracy.
I feel like at this point, they need to. We need to like go back to the Voting Rights Act, and I think part of the problem. This is one of the reasons it was gutted, is that because
Congress hadn't updated it in decades.
it hadn't been updated in decades, and it only applied to certain states. The pre-clearance only applied to. I think it should. Fucking
Nationwide.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Nationwide.
In fact, the ruling didn't
Didn't say you couldn't do
say you couldn't do
pre-clearance.
that, yeah.
Just said you couldn't do selective pre-clearance. I
Right.
think the solution in immediate aftermath of that was like, okay, we'll expand it to the entire country.
Yeah. That should have been the
And I think that, you know, that keeps the balance between the states getting to decide their own election laws and the federal government getting to make sure that they are fair election laws.
Yeah.
I think that that's perfectly reasonable.
I think
That
so
is
too.
a reasonable sharing of power between the state and the federal government.
Yeah. That's
I hate that we need it.
yeah, same.
I'm not thrilled that we need it, but if we'd have finished Reconstruction, we wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, shit, that image you sent me today talking about the Assassin's Creed game that got scrapped.
Yeah.
Because of the political climate. Like, dealing with Reconstruction in the Klan is like somehow a threat to our current political climate is telling.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that
And, like,
says
I'll be honest,
something.
I have not played an Assassin's Creed game since 3.
Gotcha. I play them all. I love them. They're all political.
That probably would have given me, like, because I eventually get everything, because I have PlayStation Plus, I eventually get, like, all the Ubisoft stuff free.
Right?
I probably would have been like, well, I'll play this one.
The funny thing about it is that they all deal with, like, you know, the politics of the time and moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's all politics all the way. Like, history is politics, right?
You go back to 3 and you think about, it's like, oh, you're half native and you're murdering the English.
Yeah.
Like, would that fly now?
Probably
I feel
not.
like that would be controversial. The fact that we have to, like, talk about, like, people complaining about, like, bringing politics into Wolfenstein games.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
Indiana Jones games. Like, why are they making Indiana Jones political?
and those are actually all just positions that are in and of
What?
themselves political positions.
Yeah.
You just want to politicize history. You want to
Yeah.
politicize out the discomfort in history, which is
Not how it works.
right, not how it works, but also a political act. You are taking a political act by
Yeah.
trying to hide that, like
Yeah.
by trying to reshape the history or keep it like
Very exceptionally few things are apolitical.
yes.
To the point that, like, I struggle to think of something off the top of my head that's truly apolitical.
I saw this great clip the other day where it was like a guy walks in, like it was one of those TikTokers who does the two parts, he does himself and then like his friend,
Yeah.
like right. He walks in, he goes, "Hey, did you hear what Trump did?" He goes, "I don't know, some taking people's rights, something racist. What?" He goes, and he says X, Y, and Z, and he goes, "Oh man, that's terrible. But man, I don't want to do this right now. I just want to have fun." He's like, "You're an adult." Then he talks to himself like, "You're an adult. There's a time for fun. We can have fun. Being alive is about fun. You have fun all the time. You were playing on your video games just when I walked into this room. You were having fun. Sometimes, though, you've got to actually care about the shit that's going on in the world around you and pay attention to it. You are a fucking adult, And there is a time that all of us have to fucking pay attention, because otherwise, while you're sitting around having fun, other people are going to suffer, and then someday it's going to be you.
Yeah.
Like,
there is no reason why an adult should be paying less attention to politics than I paid attention to politics when I was in middle school.
yeah, like, I'll go like late high school era for me, but yeah, like middle school I was
Middle
like,
school, like,
yeah,
because that's the thing.
I did a petition in middle school, like to ban the styrofoam from our.
Like, that's more political engagement than a lot of adults get involved in now.
Yeah, like I ran a petition drive to ban the use of styrofoam in our lunchrooms.
I mean, but you look at the fact that, like, all of the things that have happened in the last 10 months, and the thing that got people the most fired up was Bad Bunny being the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like which was kind of near to the end of my list, but yeah, Bad Bunny. Like, let's talk about it now. Bad Bunny, fucking. Why are people so fucking fired up about this? It's stupid. I am not the audience for the Super Bowl halftime show because I'm a cishet white male, and like if I wanted, I'm already tangentially interested in football, so I may already watch it.
Yeah, I am already part of the demographic that the NFL has like total capture on.
Right.
As a
Like,
white man.
And you may or may not watch it. You'll be working on a Sunday more than likely, so it'll probably be on, right?
But usually we swap shifts, so I'll be mid-shift that day.
Fair.
I won't be closing.
But you know, that's it. I'm already
And
captured demo.
I won't even pay attention to it if the Eagles aren't in it again.
Yeah. But for the most part, like, you'll at least tangentially pay attention to it. Like, you
I'll
care
be aware of
to
it.
a degree. And for the most part, we all want, like, the thing about the halftime show is, especially, like, it turned into a big spectacle in the 90s on purpose because people were turning the channel to In Living Color.
Right.
That's why.
That's why. And like I have been genuinely interested in watching a halftime show exactly twice. The first time was Prince because it's fucking Prince.
Yep.
And that was fucking amazing. Him playing Purple Rain with the rain coming down like
That was
on
fucking
cue.
great.
Like, that was fucking magical. And then last year, because I knew it was going to happen when they said it was going to be Kendrick.
Yeah.
And I was excited.
That was very exciting.
But otherwise, I have never given a shit.
The NFL uses the halftime show to draw in an audience. The Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson one drew a huge audience. Now, the nip slip scared them. The following year, what was it? It was Springsteen?
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that.
It was very timid and
Very
safe.
timid, very subdued. For the next few years, it was. Viewership was down. The only fun thing about the Springsteen one was when he tried to do the power slide and went nut first into a camera.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Hit the camera with his nuts.
He teabagged America.
Yeah, he did. But aside from that, it was timid. Like, aging glory rockers, like, nobody cared when Aerosmith played. Like, Aerosmith, historically, great band. You and I may agree or disagree to their quality, whatever.
I think we disagree on when they stopped being a great band.
That's fair.
I feel like I probably believe it was much sooner than you might.
Right. And I will understand that. But the thing is,
I won't argue with anybody who likes Up Through Pump in '89.
I liked Pump. Yeah.
Like, if you like Up Through Pump, I'm like, okay, that's fine, I get it. After that,
But long and short, they were one of the biggest rock bands of all time, and they were already overplayed. Nobody fucking cared. Nobody young wanted to go see Aerosmith play 10 years after their prime at the halftime show.
And it is the NFL's goal to be international.
Yes.
Like, and it's probably within the next 10 years we will see NFL franchises outside of the United States.
Their market cap is
planning it.
capped here in the U.S.
You're going to see, like, European cities and potentially South American cities having NFL teams that play in the NFL against us regularly.
And you have to acknowledge that, like, as far as the sheer level of excitement goes, right? No large team sport has the same kind of explosive athleticism draw that American football has, right? Like, soccer's great, fine. Anybody can play it, and that's what's cool about it. It's egalitarian, and it's got lots of athleticism. It doesn't have 300-pound guys hitting each other running at 40 miles an hour, right? Like, you don't have that. Like, rugby, same thing. None of these sports around the world are as exciting as football, and it wants to be international. Bad Bunny is a good draw for that. They saw the advantages that they got last season when Taylor Swift was showing up to games, and their viewership skyrocketed, and they picked up a bunch of fucking white girls, right, that are now football fans.
But when they pick a performer like Bad Bunny, who is like the most streamed musical artist on earth, that's why.
Yeah.
Because they want people outside of the United States to give a shit.
And
because they cannot squeeze any more viewers out of us here. They have hit their revenue limit.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but one of the most spoken languages on the planet is Spanish.
I believe it's the third most spoken.
Yeah, I believe so. Because while we say fuck Britain a lot, there was another country that also had a bunch of maps drawn around what it had done, and it had a big empire, mostly in South America, but also in other parts of the world, like the Philippines, and that was the Spanish. So there's a whole fucking continent that speaks Spanish, except for Brazil, that speaks Portuguese, which is just weird Spanish.
It's
like
Spanish with an accent,
right? Like, but yeah, so the NFL freak out over that. It's bizarre, it's racist, it's dumb, and Americans apparently forgetting that Bad Bunny is an American.
But like, the one thing you're not going to do is attract international viewers with Morgan Wallen. Because, and I need Americans to understand this, essentially no one outside of the United States cares about American country music.
Yeah, it is not particularly popular. Like, there are some artists that do well internationally, sometimes.
They're mostly legacy acts.
Yeah, Johnny Cash. Yeah, Canadians like country, but they're basically Americans. Like, we're so culturally close to each other, and 90% of their population lives within fucking 8 miles of the border,
and they are just Americans with proper health care.
Yeah, right. But so yeah, Canadians, some like country, like, but outside of fucking North America, nobody gives a shit.
No.
Like, nobody cares about Morgan Wallen. Like,
no.
Fucking Jason Aldean. Come on.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
But speaking, Zach Bryan, that new song snippet that he dropped, I am a big fan of. It's called "The Fading of the Red, White, and Blue," and it's apparently a song about fuck ice.
At least in part.
In part, at least. The part that he dropped, at least, was about fuck ice and law enforcement, and I approve of that.
If there is a message that country music should have, it's fuck law enforcement.
Right.
That is your fucking. That is what you started as.
I beg of thee, go back and listen to the Highwaymen.
Go look up why rednecks are called rednecks.
Yeah, that part too. All right. Where are we in the news? Oh, credit-ish where it's due, even though I'm waiting for the details. Let's wait and see. But Gaza looks like it actually has a peace deal accepted, kind of, sort of.
Well, here's the thing. Gaza has repeatedly accepted ceasefires and peace deals over the years.
Yes.
Sometimes, though, the other party tends to violate those terms.
Right.
A little bit.
Well, just a smidgen. And for the Hezbollah fucking Israeli stands over there and genocide deniers, go fuck yourself. I don't care. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear from you. Don't want to hear about you. And I don't give a fuck about you.
As always, ethno-states are bad.
Ethno-states are bad. And in the history of your conflict with the Palestinians, you've started 2 wars and lied about it. In fact, the only war that you didn't start, really, was the one that you were losing in the 70s. And then you blackmailed the United States with the threat of going nuclear until we helped you. And then you violate like almost every ceasefire. It's like a 7-3 like violation rate.
Yeah, and usually it's within 24 hours.
Right.
Later that day.
Remember that time that Hamas abided by a ceasefire for 18 months and then Israel bombed a bunch of children playing soccer on a beach?
I mean, why were they at the beach?
Yeah.
That's too close to the water. We can't We can't have the Palestinians
Right.
at their own beach
Yeah. How dare they fish?
in their own territorial waters.
Yeah. The flotilla got detained and arrested.
But
Violating
it was enough
international
a distraction that they got to do some fishing.
Yep. They
They got to do some fishing.
They got to do some fishing for an afternoon because the Israeli Navy was too busy dealing with the flotilla that the people of Gaza got to do some fishing. That's where that's at.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene being like the only, I don't want to say sane or rational, but
I
sane
feel
or rational
like-
Republican in this moment.
I feel
about
like
the
the
shutdown.
only thing that genuinely makes sense in Republican politics is that she would end up the only one taking a reasonable position on anything because she's the only one who actually believes what she's saying.
that
Like
that
she is, her principles might be fucked,
right,
but she is principled.
that may be true. I think that is at least partly true, because they spent the last fucking several years on and on and on about QAnon and Epstein
And I think her finally realizing that he is in the files. That's it. She was done with him. He's in the files.
that may be it. Like,
Because she's principled on that.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's critical of the shutdown right now. She is actually slamming her own party, blaming them, which she's right. She's
well, I mean, yeah, they could just get this through with a fucking...
yeah. Her district also
Yeah.
has a large number of people that will be really affected by the subsidies, and I mean, like,
But that's the thing. The overwhelming majority of people who are going to be negatively impacted by this are in red districts,
yeah,
in red states.
like, yeah, this is going to hurt a bunch of rural and low-income communities across
And
the
like,
South.
even if
and-
you personally don't see your premiums go up because you got them through work and you've got a good job and it's paying you well and you're getting good benefits, that doesn't mean shit if like the only hospital in your county goes out of business,
right.
and your nearest emergency medical services are an hour and 15 minutes away.
Here's the thing. Let's say you got that sweet corporate insurance plan, right? But in your community or your state, like 2 million people lose their coverage because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right. And
That fucks up the risk pool.
that fucks up the risk pool, but also hospitals will make less money and be inundated with more emergency room costs, which will then have to be negotiated when they negotiate the prices with insurance companies so they can stay afloat, right? Like, it will change the payment structures,
Yeah.
which will trickle to you fucks getting insurance. This is healthcare is a national good, and it, like any market, you change the dynamics of it,
The
and
fact-
it eventually affects everybody else.
The fact that we insist on keeping our system what it is, I think it might be the most insane thing we do as a nation.
Yeah.
Deciding that we have to keep our healthcare system exactly how it is, with our private health insurance system
Lacking the
and
will to
everything being for profit.
just bite the bullet and do what every other fucking modern nation in the world has done and found some way,
Yeah.
even if it's a multi-payer system like Germany, right?
Yeah.
Some way of providing universal health care with like mandates and government subsidies and like lower costs. We just haven't done it. We refuse to do it. And it is one of the last like toxic areas of our politics. It's fucking us up.
Yeah. It's a goddamn shame FDR died when he did, because
Yeah.
I think if he'd have made it through the end of the war,
We'd have gotten some.
I think we would have gotten... Yeah. Because basically Europe got what he wanted us to have.
Right.
But then he died.
Fuck.
And you know what? Even as a wealthy man, probably would have lived longer if there'd have been more health care when he was a child.
Yeah. Expect some flight delays with the shutdown. That's one
Yeah.
of those consequences people forgot about. But air traffic controllers are apparently, especially in a lot of smaller communities, just not showing up. And pilots are having to communicate to coordinate with each other over radio so they don't crash. That's apparently what's happening on the ground right now that I've been hearing from people
Our
in
air
the
traffic
industry.
control system was already fucked this year because of that.
Yeah.
Like, you already had, like, most air traffic controllers doing the work of what should be 2 people
Yeah.
before this.
Yeah, that's
But at least we know that there is a cabal of child sexual predators who are being protected from consequences for being child sexual predators. So we got that going for us.
we do have that going for us. But yeah, so expect some flight delays, expect a fucking nightmare with that shit. I feel like everything is making us win right now. I'm so happy with all the winning.
I feel like we're winning.
Yeah. Speaking of winning, the French government's in crisis, and they've got a political deadlock. Their budget is fucked, and they can't maintain a government. Macron's allies are turning on them. Like, I don't know what's going on in France. They are, and I don't know what's going on with Macron because he is not like.
I mean, he'll get to destroy Candace Owens financially, so he's got that going.
He
for him.
does have that going for him
Because he is going to destroy her financially.
Yeah, her estimates for what it's going to cost her to fight that case, like for calling his wife a man.
Just fighting the case is going to bankrupt her, let alone losing and then the settlement.
Yeah.
Like, she's done. She's financially ruined forever.
Especially now that she's no longer like as
She's alienated the billionaire donor class that funds her grift.
yeah, because the pro-Israeli Zionist fucking lunatics, they don't like her anymore. She's having a big falling out with all the Turning Point people because she actually loved Charlie Kirk and nobody else did. And she's very upset by the way they're handling things, which, I mean, she's not wrong, but because Erica Kirk seems to be living her best life. But yeah, she's, I don't know what's going to happen with her career, but it seems that she's done. Trump apparently, I saw this one last night. Trump and his allies are apparently like seriously weighing like an invocation of the Insurrection Act nationwide.
Cool. Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's, they're hellbent on trying to will like a rebellion into being. Like,
Good luck with that.
like I don't get it.
Here's the problem. Stephen Miller is a psychopath,
Right?
and he is the only one who is actually calling the shots.
It's fair.
Like, Vote is just focused on dismantling like the administrative state.
Yes.
Like, he is solely focused on like making sure there are not federal employees at all.
and then what's left of it like supports his right-wing
Right.
grip, like his right-wing
But Stephen
ideologies.
Miller is genuinely deranged, and he is genuinely intent on using the power he's been given to the fullest extent possible.
Yeah.
And that requires destroying everything, because you have to destroy everything to make the United States of America 100 million white people.
That you're
there's-
not wrong there.
There is no way to get rid of 234 million people and only leave 100 million white people without destroying fucking everything.
Yeah. Everything they're doing, like you're not wrong. Everything they're doing makes slightly more sense when you pair the fact that he's really kind of the brainchild behind all of this right now, and like basically Trump's handler. He's his medical aid, right?
Yeah.
He's that person that like, you know, is his caretaker.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's fucking addled and crazy as fuck. And he also has a vision of like a third of our population being gone and only white.
Yeah, 2/3.
Yeah. Sorry, being down to a third
Yeah.
of our population and
Like,
being only white.
and then it's like, okay, well, you're also destroying the entire economic base of the United States. So what? You have like a cabal of like 25 or 30 billionaires, and everyone else is just their fucking slaves.
Yeah, but
It is a plan for white slavery.
that's
That is Stephen Miller's dream world.
like right. Like I think he idealizes it in his head like it's Earth X from Peacemaker. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no, this is gonna be a beautiful vision of like, yeah, there will be some brown people.
They will toil in the fields.
Right. And the rest of us, like, yeah, men will be men, and like dumb, useless men who aren't as clouty as me, their lot in life will be to be laborers.
Here's the
right?
funny thing. We already had brown people toiling in the fields,
Yeah,
and his goal was to get rid of them all.
you're not wrong. It's like it's just like he wants 1850 back though. You like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like it's dumb. But
And
it's like,
18
but you see, guys like him, he views himself as a class above other white men.
Yeah.
Right? So in the hierarchy that he has got, like you and me, we're doing this when what we should be doing is just manual labor because we're, you know, we're not the.
I mean, honestly, we
his
probably should
class.
have already died from the toil of manual labor.
Right.
Like, we're already past our expiration dates in his world.
Yeah. But you know, like.
Like, I'm sure he would just happily, like, see every 35-year-old on their birthday taken out in front of a big pit and shot.
Yeah, based on their bank account.
Your physical labor is in subpar now.
Right.
Your diminishing returns.
Like,
Feeding you costs more than you can produce.
I hate Stephen Miller so goddamn much. But he's basically our president now, so
Yeah.
you better salute him.
Congratulations, those of you who thought this would be fine.
Yeah. Katie Porter seems poised to fucking try to lose her lead in the gubernatorial race. We got into that really testy interview, and she's like, I
haven't
that.
gotten around to watching the video yet. I heard something about it, but I haven't gotten it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, God, Katie. And I read some things. And she also went out and said, like, I don't need the support of anybody who voted for Trump. I was like, okay, like, I get what you're saying, but you are trying to run for the governor of a state, and they're like 36% of the state's population.
Yeah.
So
It helps.
it helps. You got to at least, like, try. You can shit on the politicians all you want, like, you know, but if you are a politician, try not to shit on like a third of your constituents.
I'm not running for office. I'm allowed to say whatever I want about those people.
Like,
Doesn't impact me.
yeah, the only cautions I have are how much it's going to impact like my ability to make money in my business, and that only limits me to a degree.
Yeah.
Like,
We have conservative customers, but we
do.
don't have MAGA.
right. Like, we got some folks who voted for Trump. They know that we are not fond of that. But
But there are also people who voted for him but weren't like committed diehard MAGA.
yeah.
They counted a different part.
Yeah, right. But, you know, we're not mean to them about it. Like, and
I see the looks on some of their faces. We don't need to be.
yeah, no, yeah,
Like they understand decisions were made and they were poor.
yeah,
They are not enthused.
yeah, they're not pleased.
Like they won't say it, but like I see it in their eyes. I'm like,
Right.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
So Pope Leo went out and he said that he was going to that the church is going to stand by Catholics who support immigrants and stand behind the clergy who are out there protesting.
I mean, that
on
is
behalf of immigrants.
that
Good
is
on you.
generally what I expect of the Catholic Church.
I approve of the last two popes like being a movement back towards its like social radicalism towards the good.
Yeah.
Right? Because it had slipped away from that a few times.
Right.
But I approve of that. And like this pope and the last one being like, yeah, abortion's a sin, but like, you know, certain sins like being mean to gay people are worse. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, good on, you're right. Yes. Like, that was great. All right. Senate has failed to curb Trump's illegal murder of Venezuelans on boats.
Exactly. One Democrat said it was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Fuck you, John Fetterman. I have never regretted sending money to anybody more than you.
Yeah.
You
are vile.
You are such a piece of filth. But
I have not hated a Democrat like this since Joe Lieberman left the party.
yeah, like,
I didn't hate Joe Manchin this much. I didn't hate Kirsten Sinema this much.
and I hated them.
I
but
hated them, but not this much.
Fetterman, you are my new Joe Lieberman. Like, I fucking despise you because at least Schumer's just incompetent and like trying to play by old rules. Fetterman is like I'm going to side with the other guys over like the worst possible issues, like murdering brown people and also maybe fuck your health care.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? You are not even the guy who ran for office. Maybe you did have a fucking mental MTB from your stroke. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
DOD press corps. Oh my God, the DOD press corps rules. So they were pretty quiet about the credentialing rules while negotiations were ongoing. But basically, the DOD's like, we're not negotiating anymore. You are going to abide by these rules, which is that they will not credential anybody who publishes any information, classified or unclassified, that the DOD doesn't deem as appropriate.
Cool.
That's insane.
Yes.
That is batshit insane. It's not just like you got a hold of something classified and they don't want you to print it, which already go fuck yourself, First Amendment, right? It's not only that. It is a chilling to, you found something out that's not classified that the government just doesn't like and finds uncomfortable. If you print that, you can't report within inside the DOD.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. The attempt to control information from this administration is one of the scarier and more egregious acts.
And they're also like so bad and heavy-handed about it.
Yeah.
Like they don't know how to use soft power at all to get what they want.
Right. Like
they don't know how to finesse anything.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, again, one of the things that the Obama administration did that was really, really shitty was they increased the use of the of prosecution for state secrets and espionage.
Yeah.
Even against like people who gave journalists information, or sometimes journalists who technically violated the law in getting that information.
Right.
Like, which sent a bit of a chilling effect through, right? But they weren't heavy-handed about it. They were subtle. Like, oh, yeah, you clearly broke this law, so here, we're going to get you. Journalists still hated that, but it also made them think twice about, okay, well, this is classified. How did you get it before you give it to me?
Right.
Right? Like, which achieved the administration's illegitimate, but wanted purpose.
They just think they can bully their way through everything. And the sad part is our general media is cowardly enough that it works.
Yeah.
Because they're bitches.
Right.
Fucking bitch-ass bitches.
Yeah. 1 in 4 FBI agents have been assigned to immigration enforcement right now.
I'm sure that's why they joined the bureau.
Right.
All I can think of is like Scully and Mulder chasing immigrants. These aren't the aliens I was looking for.
That's 1 in 4 members of the FBI have been reassigned to immigration enforcement. Like, that's not what the FBI fucking does.
The other 3/4 are redacting Donald Trump's name from the Epstein files to this day.
Yeah, like, they have a backlog that's going to take them. Like, we're not doing anything at the FBI that we should be doing. Like, and Kash Patel's out here saying that they're going to clean up and stop the violence in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Chicago just got out of its lowest murder rate summer since 1965.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. Here's some food for thought. If the FBI hadn't been grotesquely and ineptly run and had agents diverted to things they shouldn't be doing, Charlie Kirk would still be alive.
They were kind of aware of that kid, weren't they?
Yeah.
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 That kid had done some things that made him on the radar of law enforcement now that we know more about it. Well, sucks to suck.
That shooting in Denver, that school shooting in Denver.
Yeah.
They had intelligence. They had intelligence on that kid too.
That it was imminent. Like that he was gonna do something soon.
Children
Yeah.
murdered at school would still be alive.
By a neo-Nazi.
By a neo-Nazi.
Because the FBI dropped the ball.
Because they were busy focusing on other things that they shouldn't be focusing on.
Like chasing immigrants.
Which is not their fucking job.
Yeah. You know, every single time I fucking hear about here's this one person that was murdered by an immigrant. Like, one, it's a one-off. Every population has people that murder other people, right? You want to actually blame something in the system. It's not immigrants as a class. They don't have a unifying feature, right? Like, they're just immigrants. That's not a cohesive identity as a group, right?
No.
Like, not more than like as a social identity, but like, it's not, there's no fucking entity that is immigrant, right? What there is an entity called the fucking FBI, right?
Yeah.
It exists. And every single time they waste energy focusing on trying to round up immigrants, and a fucking Charlie Kirk gets murdered, or a bunch of kids in a school gets murdered because they didn't look at the intelligence, that is something you can blame. You can't blame Muslims on 9/11. You can blame the FBI for not paying attention to bin Laden.
Right.
Like,
when they had all of the intelligence necessary to prevent the attack.
yeah.
They had a flight school in Fort Myers being like, I got these guys who are real interested in learning how to fly a plane, but don't give a fuck about landing.
Yeah. You know what's funny is because they learned also at the school in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, right? Which is where Libby used to live.
Yeah.
And I worked there, right? I had a friend who was taking flight classes around that same time. He doesn't remember them, but he was like, they went to my school? Like,
Yeah.
They were learning to fly at the same place.
But yeah, the flight instructor down in Fort Myers went to the feds and was like, I've got these students. They're acting really weird. This is awkward. Here you go. Here's their names. Here's everything, all the information we have about them.
Payments flagged by Wells Fargo and sent to the Treasury, right? Like money transfers flagged by Wells Fargo and sent to the Treasury also helped catch them. Like but it had happened weeks before. Like all these pieces existed, right? And law enforcement dropped the ball there because they were focused on the wrong things.
And the amazing thing is, in the aftermath of all that, one of the reasons we said we created the Department of Homeland Security was to prevent this from happening again.
Yeah.
To prevent these intelligence failures from happening in the future, to prevent information not being shared between the FBI and the CIA that could lead to preventing a terrorist attack.
Yeah, but you see, our government sucks. And hey, you know, one of the things that was helping prevent that was those social chats between and like DEI work groups between different areas of the intelligence world, right? Over their internal chats. And they just weaponize that as a way of firing people. So now look at more, you're going to just get more stovepiping.
Oh, yeah. You have to understand they were queers.
Yeah.
Queers, you see.
The rural schools and hospitals are facing a lot of pain. That $100,000 H-1B visa program, like
insane.
Like they can't staff rural hospitals with doctors.
Fuck you if you're rural. Hope you like dying.
Yeah, because there was a great way of, like, you know, hospitals that couldn't afford to pay a lot for doctors to get doctors who wanted to come here, get the experience, and earn their right to live here, right? Yeah. It was a win-win. Not anymore.
Worked for everybody.
And then lastly, let's talk about the scam that is the economy through the lens of the AMD deal.
Yeah, this is such an obvious grift on its face. Like, I'm a little dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time actually accepting that it's real.
I mean, I get it. We live in a country where the president of the United States' net worth has gone up 40% since he took office. And people will tell you that he's doing it out of selfless reasons, right? So that's what we live. That's the world we live in. So we have to admit that we're stupid. Right?
We are not the smartest.
Not the smartest. This AMD deal is so obviously a bubble pumping grift. Just tell the audience about this bullshit. So, this is driving me nuts.
So OpenAI has a deal with AMD to use their processing power to fuel OpenAI, and they're paying AMD for it. They're paying AMD for it.
Okay.
And but they also get a 10% stake in AMD.
Okay.
So they are paying AMD to give them 10% of themselves, which is then inflating the value of AMD.
How much did it go up?
$60 billion in market cap.
Was it a 25%?
It was
25%
25%,
spike.
Yeah.
In
The value of AMD went up 25% after OpenAI took 10% ownership stake because OpenAI got in a deal with them to use their processors.
Yeah. This is the most creative grift in non-merger merger stock transfer I've ever seen.
And it's also just like the most obvious and like open and corrupt and not even trying to fucking hide it.
Yeah, it's
grift.
One company giving another company money, which is making the other company money, which is making the other company money, which is making the top executives of both companies billions of dollars wealthier.
Yeah.
Or at least hundreds of millions in a day because of a transaction where when you realize all of that, no money actually changes hands.
They have literally just magicked $60 billion out of nowhere.
Well, it's not out of nowhere, though. It is out of you and I's pocket. It's the fucking retail investors who are paying for this magic.
And it's for a bubble that, what was it, 17 times bigger than the tech bubble of the 90s and 8 times bigger than the housing market bubble in 08?
8 times bigger. Now, fathom that for a fucking second. Everybody owns a fucking house or lives in a place to live, right? Like,
yeah,
the entire population has housing, right? Like,
yeah,
for the most part, except for the select few, right? The population has a place to live. So the housing bubble of the entire country just 16 years ago?
Yeah.
Just 16 years ago? 15 years ago. 15 years ago was an eighth. An eighth of the size.
So this bubble is 800% bigger.
And they still have no ways of monetizing this.
And they have no idea of how they might be able to monetize it. Like that's why Sora 2 and Meta's version of Sora 2, they're trying to build them into social media platforms so they can sell advertising because it's the only way they can think to generate revenue.
Yeah, like
it's insane.
Like
this is totally deranged, and none of us get anything out of this. We are taking like some of the most basic human impulses when it comes to like creating,
right,
and destroying it for no benefit to anyone.
And if these companies get their actual way, and these products do what they purport them to do, it just means like a loss of like thousands to millions of jobs.
Right.
With no
mostly higher paying jobs.
Right.
Like good jobs go away.
Good jobs.
This isn't like all the shitty jobs get automated.
Yeah. No, it's the entry level of good paying careers. Yeah. Like
it's like all of those STEM fields.
Yeah.
That like we've been told for the last 20 years, get a degree in STEM. You should get a degree in computer science. You'll walk into a 6-figure job the day you get out of college. That used to be the case. Everybody I went to school with in college who got comp sci degrees walked into 6-figure salaries the day they fucking walked out of fucking school. Yep. The day they graduated. And
then you got a whole generation that after that walked into like, you know, $50,000 to $70,000 careers, but they could become 6-figure over time. That was the entry level. That's what this is going to gut, right?
Yeah.
And like those rare few who make it are going to become managers and be able to continue to do the thing. But no, everybody else is like, I don't get it.
It blows me away.
And yeah, we're gonna be replacing fucking music with it, which I think Taylor Swift already did.
Yeah, her new album is bad.
So bad.
Least horny song about taking dick ever written and recorded.
Like you described it as like she's the kind of woman who starfishes and calls it making love.
Yeah.
Like it seems like that.
Taylor Swift does not and has never fucked.
No.
Sabrina Carpenter fucks.
She may have had sex. She has never fucked. And this album is it's bad.
Every other Chappell Roan fucks.
Oh yeah.
Charlie XCX fucks. Sabrina Carpenter fucks. Miley Cyrus fucks. Ariana Grande fucks. Everybody fucks except for Taylor Swift.
Like,
who I was talking last night about my theory that she probably has a cloaca.
yeah.
She does not talk or write about sex in a way that humans would. I think she might just be the chicken lady from Kids in the Hall. Travis Kelce scarred for life.
Look at my cloaca. Oh. Like, it's.
I got to remember to go on TikTok and say that shit and piss off some white women.
That is you haven't done that yet, and I'm sad.
I mean, I got home late last night and I was tired, and then I spent all morning out, not at home, and
you got white women to anger. You should do this.
They're so easy to anger.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break so I can stretch my legs, and then we're gonna talk about the other side of the Taylor Swift fiasco equation.
Mm-hmm.
The crisis in masculinity and why incels are cropping up more and more, and why the manosphere exists in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
Basically, we talked about that, like the shift to the right wing, right?
Yeah.
The alt-right. Now I guess I want to talk about the conditions that make people prone to it. Men.
And honestly, it's a topic that, like, when I first suggested this podcast, it was what I was thinking about.
Yeah, we were talking about it a lot then, and that's why I wanted to do it today, because, like...
Bring it back around.
Yeah, bring it back around, and, like, a lot of young men are being forgotten about. And, like, look, I'm going to say it, I get a lot of shit from other left-leaning progressive type folks because I talk about how, one, that I think that political correctness is innately conservative, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, the, like, woke scoldy SJW types are damaging to movements,
yeah.
Right? And it's just another form of
There's
bullying.
a chasm of difference between being respectful of people and tone policing normal behavior.
Right. And I think that, especially with the way that young men are socialized, a lot of the left, particularly women on the left, not in a bad way, like they don't mean to, they're just, as intersectional feminists have argued, white feminism is just doing patriarchy as women.
Right.
That's the intersectionalist academic argument, is that, like, white corporate woman feminism is just doing more patriarchy with a vagina. Right. And so that's not healthy either. Patriarchy hurts everybody. So that's what I want to talk about in the next half.
All right, we are back on camera.
Excellent. There was a technical difficulty there. Battery died. But you know.
That's why I have a screen for just these situations now. We don't have to stop talking.
Boom.
The one time we killed a good rant mid-rant because the camera died, not letting that happen again.
It was a good rant. You had a good rant there, too, anyway. So, yeah, like the description of the AMD story. Bullshit. All right, so, boys and boys. All right, for the men out there. Ladies, if you want to listen, you can. Actually, you should. You should. You might be uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable during parts of this, so I'm going to say it.
I won't.
I know you won't. You're a rarity, and actually that you, as far as men of our age go, you are better socialized than most. Like,
I don't know how that happened.
I don't either, but
growing up in a town where I was antagonistic with everyone,
right?
I think that might have been part of it because I just stopped caring.
Yeah, and from what you've told me about your parents, like, they were fairly good about these issues and ahead of their time. Right?
Yeah, no, they were.
Like,
they were
in a lot of ways. So for
my dad still is.
Yes,
He's going to be 87 on the 16th.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like
1 week.
you are very well adjusted to this stuff. I'm less so. I'm gonna admit it.
I think you are more illustrative of the average experience
Yeah.
in most regards.
And actually, in some ways, it's worse. Like I went through a lot as a kid in ways that not every man does. And I feel happy that I'm not worse off because I think about my privileges there. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Things could always be worse.
They could always be worse.
It's hard to remember that.
Yeah.
But things could always be worse.
And our role here really is to try to make things better in our tiny little bubble of it, right?
Things could always be worse, but there's like one person who it's definitely the worst for somewhere out there in the world.
Yeah.
And like to that person, you're almost definitely not listening to this.
Yeah, and
You've got other things. You're dealing with other shit. You're not listening to anyone's podcast.
right. Now, for those who may be listening to our podcast who have it worse than us, we feel for you. We're here for you, and we have empathy. If you'd like to reach out to us, feel free to message us. Yeah, we're here. So I get a little into bell hooks stuff a little while back. You familiar
Yes.
with the work? Yes. Now, bell hooks, all lowercase as their styling and their preference, which I think is a really great choice.
Yeah.
Like, not their given name. I don't want to give their given name. I'm just going to go off of their pen name. But they, as a styling choice, preferred all lowercase. And so, an American author, theorist, social critic who passed away in 2021, December of 2021. The author of over 30 books. And what's interesting is her career really changed the world back in 1981 with her first work, Ain't I a Woman?
It's weird to think that it's been 44 years.
Yeah, 44 years. And, well, what's really rough about that is that in the last 44 years, her work has been seminal. The work of academics that she worked alongside of, or that did work in tandem, or that she based her works off of, is deeply influential academically, and yet there's a failure to translate that into action in the real world, right?
I mean, that's unfortunately a problem with academia in general.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of really, really good, really important, really insightful academic writing about a lot of different topics. And the overwhelming majority of humanity will never know anything about it.
Exactly.
Or experience it, or even come into contact with the basic ideas, which is a problem.
Which is something I love about bell hooks, like accessibility, right?
Yeah.
That she talked in academic ways, or academic concepts in colloquial ways.
Yeah,
And
like you could read her stuff and understand it as someone who's not an academic.
Yeah. And,
Which is rare.
And what's funny is she got criticized by other academics for how would I say it? Insulting the intelligence of her audience. She was like, I'm not insulting their intelligence. I'm just
talking to them in a way they can understand.
right. I'm trying to talk to
But
people as people talk.
That is an academic gatekeeping problem
Yeah.
that exists in all fields, but especially the humanities.
Yes. They want you to talk like in theory and jargon all the time, and then when you do and nobody listens to you, they're like, why aren't you listening
That's
to me?
like I can't tell you how many times I've read like some piece of philosophical writing that's just incomprehensibly dense, and then when I realize what they're saying, like in a simple to explain way, I get angry at them for not just fucking saying it.
It's true, yeah. So she was a pioneer in intersectional feminism, and she first really set her sights on failures of the black separatist and liberation movements, and saying, like, you're dominated male spaces, and you're talking about things in a specifically male patriarchal fashion, so your liberation is not my liberation, right? So
Right.
she swung at them. And then she shifted gears on criticizing capitalism. It was like, capitalism maintains and upholds the patriarchy, and it's alienating as fuck. Patriarchy is alienating as fuck. And the two of them are now
Double alienation.
And working in tandem to keep us where we are. And then my favorite, which got her a lot of flack, but it really helped fucking change how a lot of people viewed the world, was in taking swings at white feminism, particularly the white feminist movements, right?
I have my own critiques.
Yeah. Because as I said at the beginning of this, she was just like, that's just patriarchy, guys.
Yeah.
And you're ignoring the academic work about intersectionalism. You are not talking, like, we've got all this great work about liberating all genders.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is pushing on these issues in ways that are like replace women with men, or replace men with women.
You look at like your TERF and your SWERF movements, you realize that they fundamentally hate men and hate women.
Yeah.
They just hate people. But more lady CEOs.
Yeah. Like,
Anyway.
not helpful.
No.
Doesn't defeat patriarchy, and patriarchy hurts everybody. It's fucking us men up badly. And it's not feminism's fault.
No.
It's patriarchy, but
Patriarchy's
feminism's
fault.
failing because it has a role to uplift both genders. And right now, it's at least public face.
Yeah.
Just-
Mainstream white liberal feminism has done a terrible job at actually addressing all of the problems that patriarchy causes.
Right.
There's a lot of like dealing with symptoms and not dealing with underlying issues.
Exactly.
Like we talk about like the whole like, oh, you need more women CEOs, or like half of those generals committing war crimes should be ladies.
Yeah.
Like
No. Maybe less war crimes.
that would be preferable.
Like, maybe instead of having more women billionaires, we just have less billionaires.
Yeah.
That would be the benefit.
Like non-billionaires.
Non-billionaires would be great. And so, yeah, Hooks was great at bridging the gap between what people can understand in academia. And now, the reason I'm bringing her up is because she was great at, like, applying these things and, like, helping us see and connect the dots. And so I want to connect the dots on a couple things right now,
Right.
which is, what did Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, and Andrew Tate all really have in common?
Well, I mean, they were speaking to a specific demographic and telling that demographic that it has value.
Yes, that is it. Like the core of it is about value, right? They are telling people, particularly men, particularly young men, but also just men in general, white men in general, and black men. Black men were 16% of the black male population voted for Donald Trump the first time around, like 20% the second time around, right?
Mind-boggling,
Like,
but
again, Latino men, and a community that is currently facing roundups, right, voted for him. Why? It isn't all because men suck, right?
No.
Like, we do, but it's not entirely our fault, right?
that's fair.
Like, we suck, but it's not all our fault. And it's not excusing the fact that we suck. It's explaining.
No,
it.
and I think it is important. I have said this many times before, that there is a world of difference between explaining behavior and excusing behavior. And if you don't know the explanations for why behaviors occur, you can't do anything to change them.
Right. You can't change behaviors unless you understand them. That doesn't mean you excuse the behavior. It's
Right.
just you have to get in and understand it and deal with it. And so he like uplifted, these men are uplifting millions of insecure men that exist in the world. Like millions of men just feel like they can attach to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like the ultimate fail son, right?
Yeah.
Like he failed his way upwards. He doesn't need to be. That's the interesting thing about it, is like, as an image of masculinity, right? You don't have to be cool or smart, right? He got girls. He got power, right? He had wealth.
Or at
and
least
all of
the
that.
appearance of wealth.
And all of those things, and it had nothing to do with him, like, being, like, an ideal of a man,
No.
right? And so, in him, like, guys that feel second tier can see themselves, right? And he expresses an image of power.
Even if he is fundamentally weak.
Yeah, that's just it. It's when you have the aesthetic of power and masculinity. It's actually a weakness. Like you're very not masculine.
And you're very not powerful.
Now, some of the things I'm going to say are probably going to elicit an eye roll or two from some folks out there. I have those conversations, and occasionally I'll talk to somebody and they'll be like, well, like arguing over, like, in leftist spaces about whether or not we call it Asperger's or like, high functioning or just a spectrum, like devolving into like an argument over that isn't the same as fascism in the streets. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not. But if your community is getting toxic, right, and you just want to blame it all on like voters, the white male voters that put Trump into office, you're not fixing anything.
Right. You're not actually addressing the problem.
Yeah. And you have to address toxicity in your own community because otherwise you're not actually spreading empathy.
Yeah.
Right? You're just a veneer of empathy, a virtue signal, if you will. Right? And that's not helpful. And that's kind of a problem because, feminism's diagnosed a lot of these problems decades ago. Patriarchy hurts men and it traumatizes us. It stunts us. It devalues men's lives. Like, men don't experience the same, like, sense of value by society that we should, right? And it's not to say that, like, men don't have more power, which they do, right? It's not to say that the gender gap isn't real. It is. Like, there's some reasons for it, some that aren't good, some that are understandable based on the structures that we have, but it's really that like power in and of itself is unhealthy.
Yeah. And there's a hierarchy to men where it's like certain men have power,
right,
and they use that to give other men the illusion of power so they feel powerful while they're being exploited.
And we're socialized to exist in a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Right. We're socialized to see things in a competitive, hierarchical way. That the men have been talking about alpha males since we were children, right?
And it's been stupid the entire time.
It's stupid the entire time.
It's gotten stupider in the last 10 years.
Yes, yeah. I think,
but it's been stupid the entire time.
And I have some theories about why. We'll get into it a bit, but like we get these pressures, and every young boy, not every young boy, but most young boys, most of us, if we were to spend enough time in therapy, like talking about our childhoods and our lives, we would eventually dawn on or click to the moment where we kind of like lost the unconditional love of our mother, right? Like where that just either abruptly ended or faded away.
Yeah.
And it happens around the time where we get perceived as less of a small child and more of a budding man, right?
Like before puberty, but like not by a lot.
Right.
You're not a little kid anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And our other parental figure, the father figure, is typically aloof. The concept of them being stern, that old phrase, wait till your father gets home.
Yeah.
Right. Which signified that he was the punisher. Right.
That was his job. That was his role.
Right.
Was to be the punitive force of authority.
Yeah. And, again, not all men experience all of these things, but most men experience some version of this.
Right.
Right. And almost all men have experienced some of the things we're talking about.
And any man who didn't witnessed it happen to other boys he was growing up with.
Yes. And still grew up in that
culture.
And that pecking order hierarchy with those expectations. So it may have happened from an uncle. Right. Like you ever notice that? Like you'll be at a family thing and like, the more permissive, like, more socially liberal parents, like, have an uncle or a grandparent that wants to chastise the kids or tell the boys how they're supposed to act. You run into that a lot. And so the space where it all fails is, as we said, is that like girl boss, like we need more women CEOs. We need more women ICE agents. No, we don't. And so you hear things also that really kind of alienate a lot of like young teens these days, like and younger men like in their 20s. Like I see it online all the time in discourse. Like I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to show you empathy. Like you'll hear it.
What are you here to do?
Right. Like you hear that from left-leaning people and women all the time. It's like I get it's exhausting, but also,
And and teaching someone doesn't have to be like telling them a thing. It could just be seems like here's where you can find out the information you need.
yeah.
If you want to understand this, read this book, watch this YouTube video, go to this website, talk to this person. Like it's not necessarily you teaching the information yourself. It's giving them a little bit of guidance on where they could teach themselves the information.
Yeah, exactly. But like some of these toxic young boys are just being tossed aside by the left and in spaces that are sometimes dominated by women in not a bad way. They're just being shunted aside. And Maddie and I had a great conversation about this the other night. And it's like what are you doing? Because when these boys grow up, like they will grow up.
Yeah.
What kind of boy do you expect them to be as a man, right? And if they don't know better, they're going to do more of the same. And that's not helpful for them. It's not helpful for you and I. It's not helpful for women, for sure.
Especially when you ignore young men and you just sort of like leave them to their own. And that whole like, well, boys will be boys thing. And you don't actually pay attention to them until they fuck up.
Yes.
And then you teach them, it's like the only way you can get attention of any kind is to act out in a really big way.
Exactly.
That people can't ignore.
The best thing I heard about, I heard about the boys to be boys phrase is that it's not a permission slip to let men do what they want. That's how it's perceived. It's how it's treated. It's how it's acted on. But that's not what it really is. It is a permission slip for the emotional neglect of their caretakers and their parents, right?
Right.
That's what it is. When you hear the phrase, I hope I have a boy because it'll be easier. What they're saying, every human being has the same range of emotions, right? Now, we may have different hormonal drives and things that happen around puberty, etc.
And like there are outliers, like there are psychopaths.
Yeah.
But that's different. They are neurologically damaged.
Right. So you can't like...
You can't base broad decisions and ideas on them.
Right.
They are outliers.
So you got to deal with the most common. So everybody has the same spectrum of human emotion.
Yeah, I mean we all feel happiness, anger, sadness, fear, loneliness, excitement, desire.
But when you say that it's going to be easier to be a boy, what you're saying is that you're not going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, you can just ignore it.
You can ignore it. You're going to teach him that boys don't cry. And you're going to teach him that being a man means being tough and dealing with the world and life's a bitch, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to suck it up.
You're allowed one tear when your father ties and another tear when like your team wins the championship.
As an anecdote about that, my stepfather, and he had mentioned it in almost a way of like pride, but weirdly like odd. Like he cried for about 3 minutes when his father died when I was like 7, 6, right? That he barely knew his dad. Like, but like, he passed when he was, so he cried for like 3 minutes. He cried when we put his dog that he owned for 18 years down for about 5 minutes. And he teared up at his mother's funeral for about 5 minutes.
So like 15 minutes of emotional catharsis over the course of a lifetime.
Yeah.
That ain't healthy.
No, it's not.
That ain't gonna leave you well adjusted at all.
And heavy for me, like the way I've been, because I've been doing therapy and other things the last couple of years and really trying to dig in about this stuff. And like, I gotta say, one, like as a kid who was wired, the ADHD and the other things to feel more than
the
average.
Because we do.
we do.
We're overstimulated by our emotions.
Yes.
To the point that it's a distraction.
You know, there was a lot of culture and social pressures that figuratively and in some ways literally beat that out of me, right? And repressed that, and made me feel awful and ashamed for my feelings, my emotions, right? To the degree where in my own therapy sessions as an adult, when I'm going through crises, and you know that a couple of years ago, like I was going through a lot all at once.
Oh yeah, multiple crises.
All happening.
All at once.
In my life. And I was ashamed in my own therapy sessions to cry.
That should not be a space where you feel that way.
Yeah, I couldn't express what I was feeling. I was overwhelmed by my feelings. I was having difficulty with it, and I find myself apologizing to my therapist for being
emotional.
Like, it's not healthy.
No.
That's literally killing me on the inside.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to address that otherwise. Like, but that's how I felt. And like, but man, a good cry is fucking cathartic. I talk to women friends I have, you know, and I ask the question, hey, how often do you cry in a year? They're like, all the time. Like,
oh yeah, all
a
the
couple times a week, you know, like, I'm like, awesome. I can kind of allow myself like a short crying session, like alone by myself late at night in the dark for a couple minutes. And even then I ask myself, am I being performative? I shit you not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm alone and I'm asking myself if I'm being performative about feeling my feelings, right? Like,
performative for who? Am I performing this for myself? Like, what do you?
I don't. That's
yeah.
like,
but that's yeah.
That kind of shame and guilt about my own fucking emotions exists. Like, I looked at an emotion wheel the other day. You're familiar with those, right?
Yeah.
They're cool, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I think that a great exercise now. I talked to a therapist once, and they were like, you know, start with they got this, like, your basic emotions, like we just went over, right? Like that 6 in the middle. And then it expands outward, and it gets to like another set of emotions that are more complicated. And it goes outward from there to more complicated emotions. First time I looked at that and I looked past that, I was like, the fuck are all these? That was my first thought. What the fuck are all these? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what any of these fucking emotions are.
Do you remember what any of them were?
Not off the top of my head.
Right.
It's been a minute. I am about to give some advice to the world that I think I should take myself, which is I need to sit with an emotion wheel at least once a week, maybe once a day, and just process my feelings for 5 minutes, right? But no, I like more complicated emotions than joy, fear, anger, regret. Like,
you know what I try to do? When I first wake up in the morning, that's when I'm at my most like open. Like, I'm just honestly feral,
right?
Just sort of like my most purely human. I don't always succeed at this, but basically every morning when I'm in that headspace, I try to find something. It can be small, it can be big, whatever. Piece of media, a memory, a picture that can emotionally overwhelm me to the point that I cry from happiness.
God,
I try to do that. I'm not always successful. It doesn't happen every day. But when I am in that first 25, 30 minutes of the morning where it's like I haven't thought about being a person yet. I'm just sort of like waking up.
Right.
And like becoming aware of the world. I try to force that on myself in the morning.
You know, that is, I envy the ability to do that on a regular basis. Like the closest I come to that are like that moment at the end of Superman, right?
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is like I almost experienced it as sadness, even though it was joy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're conditioned to assume tears are always sadness.
Yeah,
Like,
and
we're taught that.
and it's fuck, that ain't healthy, man. Like it's
But, like, and it's also a good way, doing that is also a good reminder that, like, there's a reason we wake up every day and, like, slog through the day to get to the next morning.
yeah,
Like, you
'Cause-
find that one thing that's just, like, so beautiful
mm-hmm.
about existence, whatever it might be. It could be something really tiny and stupid. It could be a fucking cat video.
Like I
A
I think
baby laughing, like something.
we need way more of that because right now, like for a lot of men, I would say the vast majority of men, we're conditioned to only see our value in the world as what we're providing. And for like much of our existence as a species, right, we can, scale all the way back to the fucking hunter-gatherer days. And yes, like things were more egalitarian, etc., than we let on. But in a lot of societies, it was, are you hunting, right, AKA providing, right, or are you protecting from dangers, right? So those are your social expectations as the male of our species, right, is to provide or defend.
Right, and the way it's also all conditioned around engaging in violence.
Yeah. And so...
Like, you are providing through violence. You are protecting through violence. You're not protecting through, like, offering emotional stability.
Right.
Or, like, comfort. You're protecting through violence.
And that's...
Like, it's all physical all the time.
And in the modern world, like, the problems with that are fucking infinite.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's why you see guys who, like, can't go to Publix without a fucking assault rifle strapped to their back.
Yeah.
Which they're going to be allowed to do now in Florida. I'm so fucking excited about the boomers in my neighborhood being strapped to the fucking gills in Publix.
Right? No
Just trying to
shit.
buy eggs here, man.
But the problem with that is so fucking easily manifests itself when you realize that our society is no longer structured around small tribes and violence, right?
Right.
And that the predators of the world, like that are the non-human predators of the world, have all been beaten back by civilization.
threat.
They're not a threat anymore, right?
By the way, I will say this. One of the things that has made me feel as comfortable as I am in Florida in particular, there are things out there that'll kill and eat me.
Yeah.
Like, I go to any fresh body of water, there is an 85% chance there is a 12-foot reptile in there that would love to just drag me to my fucking death.
That is true.
I avoid fresh water because of it.
but
It's there.
Yeah, I don't.
If I ever need to feel alive, I know
don't
where
fuck
to go.
with fresh water in Florida, except for like the springs where you can see clearly into the
Oh
water.
God, when I found out that sometimes they end up in the Gulf,
Yeah, I was.
yikes. Nope.
But like our structures of society no longer necessitate those things, right?
Yeah.
And so instead we built like a patriarchal, like social structure around economic dominance, right? And warfare over time, and then that started to fade. Now we have capitalism.
Yeah, and we always think of everything in terms of violent analogies.
yes,
Like all of our analogies and our metaphors and our stories that we tell ourselves are centered around like engaging in violence.
even if it's just fucking finance.
Yeah.
Like in the finance world,
They're gonna fucking destroy them.
they speak like
Yeah.
bros at war,
They're
right?
like sharks in the water.
Yeah.
The drop of blood.
And so we condition all of this, but it's alienating and it's devaluing in a lot of ways. And it just doesn't work, right? And what we've done instead is we've solved a lot of the structural problems of patriarchy in a legal sense, right?
Yeah, on paper.
On paper.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, okay, it is egalitarian now. We've added women to spaces that were dominated by men, right? And cool.
Which we should probably consider eliminating those spaces entirely, but in lieu of that, we have at least added women to those spaces.
Yes. But we didn't address all these underlying emotional socialization problems that come with it. You know, so it's like, yeah, you can't say sexist things in the workplace anymore. Yeah, cool.
You still think sex is shit.
Right. Still think sex is shit. And you didn't change the socialization of the boys. So all you've done, which aside from the alienation of it, why are so many men, especially young men, but men in general, blaming feminism for all their woes? Like, we added women to the competition for the sole thing that we value men for, providing.
Especially financial providing.
Right. Like, we shifted over to financial providing and material providing. And we have now included women into that pool, which I'm not opposed to. It's good. It is a net.
Especially when nobody can get by on a single income.
Right. But now men are in competition for the one thing that they believe and that society believes gives them value.
Right.
Like, just for the sake of existing. And if you want, like, you want to see something that is the most endemic, like, easy to understand case of it, the draft. Right. Selective service. Now, it's not really a concern here in the United States anymore, but 2 generations back it was. Right. Yeah. And we don't draft women, which I'm not saying we should. I'm saying that the draft in and of itself says what we value a man's life as in comparison to women's, right? Women, children first, right? We are innately saying that a man's life is worth less than a woman's life. Ukraine, as an example, though, like, as soon as the war started, Ukraine banned every fighting age man from leaving Ukraine. Fighting age males couldn't leave. Women could. Like, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily terrible, because again, they were invaded. Like, I understand it, right? But you understand that they're a relatively Western European country, even though they're technically Eastern European-ish, right? Culturally speaking, it's a sign that patriarchy doesn't value the lives of men. No. To the same degree it values the lives of women. Like, so our values are, can we fight and die for you? Can we defend you? Or can we provide for you? I think we need to be valued as people.
Yeah, like, it's like fully total emotional human beings, like fully actualized entities. Yeah. Not just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Not just for what we can do. Yeah. Not just for what we can provide. And, these toxic, like we talked way earlier about those toxic dating influencers, etc., right? And it's like, yeah, like there's that segment of them that, like, I will not date anybody who doesn't make 6 figures and won't take me to a 5-star restaurant and ... And it's like, you're not knowing your value. You're just saying that men don't have any value to you unless they can provide for you material comfort that you don't want to provide for yourself. Like, that's not healthy. No. That's not the foundation of a healthy relationship. It's not valuing the other person for more than they can provide for you. And that's what a lot of men experience. And a minority of these women out there are doing the work of the right by helping push these incel young men away and alienate them even further. Yeah. Right. And that's not what we should be doing. In my opinion, anyways. I could be fucking wrong.
You can't discard people.
Yeah.
You doubly can't discard people, because there is always someone out there willing to pick them up and use them for their own purposes.
It's true. And like, the elevator gate case was perfect because that was somebody doing it the right way of saying, hey, don't do this, guys, right? Yeah.
I am offering you constructive criticism and advice.
Yep, that was a good one. But I'll be scrolling through Facebook and I'll see somebody say, why are men don't like that, right? Like, you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, whatever. It's your opinion.
Sometimes say, why are men?
Yeah. But you'll see what their critique is. And it's like, they're like, men should be better at understanding their emotions and caring for somebody. I'm like, yeah, you're right. They should. Yeah.
How do we make that happen?
Right. That's the thing, because there's a large expectation that it just be done in, like, that men.
There's an expectation that they know how to do it and they're choosing not to.
Right.
Which is not the case a lot of the time.
And that if there's going to be a change, it has to be in the same way that women socialize and adapt to their emotions. right? And I don't necessarily think that's entirely healthy either. Like, you can't say, hey, we've been doing this for generations. Now, all of a sudden, like, we have equality. We're working in the same fields. And you should be expressing your emotions my way.
Right.
Right? It's like, you're not undoing generations of
Bad socialization.
Yeah. In a heartbeat, or telling them to do it the other gender's way either. They need to reach men where they are. Like, we need to go to men's spaces. We need to create more spaces for men to socialize together. Not gatekeepy hobby stuff. Like, you know, you don't want to gatekeep hobbies. Like, women are allowed to like anything they want. But you've got to create spaces for men to exist as men in social bonding.
And where they can actually feel comfortable engaging with one another in healthy ways.
Yeah.
Because men are socialized when they are engaged with other men to view everything as competition. And, like, we know a lot of dudes who are just like, everything becomes an unhealthy kind of competition.
Yeah.
And everything kind of becomes about, like, anger and temper and, like, dominance.
Right.
When it's just like you're not even trying to dominate for a reason. You're dominating for the sake of dominance in a situation where dominance doesn't make sense. There's nothing to dominate.
And, like, with that toxicity that you have in these male spaces over here, and a lack of healthy ones, it's really problematic, because women do have lots of women's spaces that exist for them, and they get that social validation, right? They get valued for existing. Like, you know, their men will go a whole year without being complimented by anybody.
Right.
Like that. Like, but a woman walks down the street, like, and I don't mean catcalling. I just mean another woman will be like, "Oh, that's a pretty dress."
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, one of your female friends gets a new haircut, you always say something. Like, oh, hey. Like,
I think, you know, this is part of the thing that I think patriarchy has done to men, especially in the last 100 years. It has taken our plumage.
yes.
It has taken our plumage, because if you look across the rest of the animal kingdom, you're the males of your various species, mammals, insects, birds in particular, like, they're ostentatious.
Yeah.
They're like vibrant,
Right,
and alive, and they look vigorous and energetic, and
Fuck.
you know.
Like, the word gay means happy, right?
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that we were socialized out of as kids in male spaces, as boys, is that being just too flamboyantly happy is gay, and not in the good way, right? But that's
don't be
why
happy,
they're tied.
don't be enthusiastic, don't, like, show really intense interest.
Yeah.
Like, you got to subdue it all and sublimate it.
Everything has to be pushed down and held within, and men.
Unless you're angry.
Yeah, but, you know, that's the one acceptable outlet. How wouldn't men be angry?
Yeah.
Like, and shit. Like, the idea that, you know, we're raised in this way that we have to be in control of both our emotions and our external, like, world around us at all times, right? Like, none of that is healthy, but that is what we're raised to do and feel. And it's a really fucking cold and bleak world for us, when the purpose of the human experience is to experience joy.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
We got to be more than just punching holes in drywall.
yeah, like,
Which, as much as people, like, joke about it, that is a socially acceptable thing for us to fucking do.
yes, it is.
If a dude wants to punch drywall and break his fucking knuckles,
Like,
and physically harm himself in the process in an entirely irrational display, that will be excused.
there was one, we know of one, that happened at the Largo bar, where there was an incident between customers. It was really heated, really intense, and somebody that works for me and with us, who has had some anger problems as a youth, like, dealt with and calmed down the situation, but the two men involved were really pissing him off, and he almost swung on one of them because things were getting so escalated. After he ended that situation, as he was walking back in, he punched a wall that we were going to replace anyways and put a hole in it. Like, nobody cared. Everybody excused it.
Yeah.
Why? Because that emotion had to go somewhere. Like,
And we are allowed to be angry and violent.
Yes. As long as it's not an inanimate object for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was an allowed amount of an emotion. What was really there was he was frustrated. He was dealing with a complex situation of people making business difficult, and he had to stop other people from fighting, and he had all of his feelings go up.
And he, we boil down these really complex, interplaying emotions into anger.
Yeah. And boom, he hit a wall because it had to happen, because it had to get out somehow, or it was going to be festering inside.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy either.
No. That's how you end up having a heart attack at 40.
Right? You think about the socialization for men in conversations. We're always vying and jockeying for conversation, and it's not necessarily I think it has a lot to do with the hierarchies in which we're raised in. Again,
Yeah, we're always trying to figure out where we are in the hierarchy and assert our dominance and put ourselves above somebody else. Nobody wants to be the guy on the bottom of the hierarchy in a situation, even if they know they can't be on the top.
Right. And
so everybody's fighting to not be on the bottom.
And very little of this is conscious,
Yeah.
right? You put you and I in a conversation like this, we're always having a little jockeying.
Yeah.
We don't mean it on purpose. We just do it. It's how we're socialized, right? In our conversation, we're looking for our space in the conversation. And women aren't socialized like that. And so, a lot of times they'll think it's sexism when they get, left out of a conversation or ignored when they enter a conversation with men. It has nothing to do with you, lady.
Yeah, it's unhealthy male behavior at other males.
Right.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah. It can be fun though. We find joy in it. It's because again, it's one of the ways we're allowed.
It can also be healthy. It's complex. It's not a simple either or kind of thing.
Dealing with our ape emotions, right?
Yeah.
In our socialization, it's one of the things that we do. So women will enter a space with men having a conversation and feel left out, ostracized, pushed aside, or ignored, and it has very little to do with their gender, unless somebody's I don't listen to you because you're a woman, or for a fact that that's what their motivation is.
Which happens.
I've
seen it.
Yep. But it's a minority of men. Just like it's a minority of women who are fuck all men suck, right? It's minorities on both ends.
Very, very, very few women genuinely believe that.
Yeah. What you actually have are differences in socialization, because women have conversations that have more pauses, more thoughts. The inner space with...
They listen to each other.
Right.
Which men are not good at.
No, we're not.
But we're good at listening for our turn to speak.
Yes.
But actually actively engaging with what another man is saying, we don't do that as much as we need to.
Yeah, especially if it starts to get into emotions.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm I will admit,
and again, emotions are gay.
Yeah, emotions are gay. I'll admit, somebody starts talking to me about their feelings and emotions, and there's a big instinct for me to just be I'm tuning this out, because I don't want to. One of the things is I fear engaging with it because I don't want to feel it.
You don't have to elicit your own emotions in a situation where you're not prepared.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to trigger an emotion you can't control.
Right, and for me as a man, triggering my emotions that I can't control, it has been taught to me as dangerous, either to the world around me or myself.
Yeah.
And by myself, I mean there are emotionally manipulative people out there. There are people who will shame you for your emotions.
Yeah.
There are people who have pushed you down and told you can't feel this thing because feeling emotions is gay, right? There's the loss of your space in the social hierarchy among men, which you don't want to do. All of that is a real, genuine fear. And it's fucking terrifying, to deal with. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That concept, you're talking to somebody about their feelings and you don't want to elicit a feeling that you can't control. And if you do have one, the fear that it could hurt you in some way exists in a lot of men. And we need to address that. We need to be really uplifting for young men. Be more inviting to men, to allow them into spaces and to create spaces for them, because otherwise, these divisions that we've got are going to continue to happen
and only get worse.
Yeah,
and you're in a situation where it's sometimes you can be completely overwhelmed with emotion to the point where you can't speak. But that is when the normal human psychological, physiological response would be to cry, but you're not allowed to cry. So you gotta like just stifle it, which genuinely does turn into some form of anger because now you're bitter. You can't deal with this emotion in a way that's socially acceptable publicly.
Right. And it's imperative for us to defeat patriarchy, quote unquote, by being less alienating to men, by inviting men to experience that actualization of themselves as a human being, a joyful member of the species that exists. Like we've experienced over the last few years where, like, you know, the men that we know in our circle now, we say I love you more than ever before, right? And we hug each other, like give each other pats on the back, and like we bond in new ways that I wouldn't have done.
And yeah, we also don't acknowledge that how physically alienated men are from like one another outside of like sports type situations that are violent.
Yeah,
and all of our physical contact either comes down to physical violence of some form, whether it's like healthy or unhealthy, whether it's a like an athletic way or not, or sexual.
Right.
Like we're not allowed to experience touch outside of those two domains.
I think sexual validation is an important emotional connection for men. Women are sexual creatures too.
Yeah,
it's a lie that
chicks be fucking.
Like, you know, there was that unhealthy movement of the like the don't fuck your husband if he believes this movement, or like, you know, the sex withholding movement. I felt that really was so anti-feminist in a lot of ways because it devalued women's sex.
I mean, there is a strain of particularly second wave white feminism.
Yeah.
That is anti-sex.
Yeah.
And believes women are not sexual beings of any kind.
Right.
It devalues women.
It does.
As fully actualized human beings.
And it devalues the men that they're with because it becomes like abusive in its own way. Like sexual withholding.
Like I'm reminded of the movement political lesbianism.
Right.
Where it was like, if a woman has sexual desires, even if she is not a lesbian, she should only engage in sex with another woman because power dynamics are such that any interaction she has with a man is necessarily sexual assault. And like, it just completely devalues women as sexual beings and like actual people.
Yeah. And man, is that also, again, when you're talking about the other half of the species being mostly socialized to get one of their few forms of emotional validation through sex, right?
Yeah,
like that like blanket, like you're just denied, right? Doesn't send a good signal to them. I'm not saying that anybody owes men sex,
and this is the thing that it does. There are a lot of men, and I see this happen all the time. There are a lot of men who convince themselves they are sexually attracted to women they are not sexually attracted to, because they are friends and they do not know how to engage with women outside of sexual attraction.
Yes, that's a that it exists too. And again, all these pieces are bad parasocial relationships from our fucking childhoods.
Yeah.
Right? Manifesting themselves as adult behaviors. And it's like it's so toxic and unhealthy, but like there's ways to address it. But it's like men need to understand, need to have like ways of physical bonding with other men and women, but mostly other men that like are non-sexual for a variety of reasons. And one of them is just so they could feel that innately human need to have like physical fucking affection.
It doesn't matter who you're hugging, you're going to get that oxytocin hit after 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's going to flood your brain and you're going to feel good.
Right. Like it
just feels good, and it's okay to feel that.
It's totally rational, totally normal. Like you were making jokes about the me and Jamichael fucking thing earlier, but like it's just he's
very touchy-feely. That's how he like shows like appreciation. It's just like giving someone a back massage or
He's gay, I'm straight. He has a daddy thing, and I'm me. So, like, our friendship works. It was just a way of getting good validation. And men are so often denied that. And, like, these younger turning incel boys, like, only know that, like, sex is something that they can have that will validate them. And that's why they're turning out to be so unhealthy, because they're not getting it.
You also have the way that sex is presented to them by guys like Andrew Tate, where it's like, it's not even about enjoying sex.
No.
It's about putting up numbers.
Yeah.
For the sake of putting up numbers, so other men will validate you for your numbers.
Right.
Like what? Like, I don't give a fuck what other dudes think about who I'm fucking.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. If you find a lady who will fuck you all the time,
do it.
Do it.
She's cool.
She's cool, and it's way better than like the struggle to find partners all the time. Like,
it's like, yeah, I know Andrew Tate has never had a fulfilling sexual encounter.
No.
He's probably had thousands of sexual encounters with different people.
Yep.
Not a single one of them has been genuinely fulfilling.
Yeah, nothing more fulfilling than the nut he busted.
Yeah, and even then, that's just an autonomic response telling him that he's succeeded.
Right.
Like, he's not even enjoying it for the sake of the orgasm. It's the orgasm is the proof that he enjoyed it.
Yeah. And so
that he did the thing.
So there's this like disturbing way that we create a sexual paradigm of like judgment and hierarchy and fucking treat it like a game among men, which again makes things worse.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and man, does it take a lot to fucking break through that cycle? Like, you know.
And then, man, when you start throwing in like compulsory monogamy on top of that,
yeah,
where you are actively diminished as a man if you do not experience jealousy.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you? Why are you not being possessive in this aggressive way? Like, why aren't you interested in like forcing your will and you know, forcing exclusivity with this person?
Like, so much of our socialization involves the application of force.
Yeah.
Like, and that is not well understood.
It's particularly unhealthy and maladaptive when you are a species that is inherently social.
Yes.
Like, we don't have the physical traits you need to like survive in the wilderness on your own.
Right.
We have to rely on each other. We have to have social bonds or we fucking die.
Exactly. And so instead you have a system of hierarchies and structures all built around force, be it legal force, be it military force, be it the force of what happens with employment, be it the force of externality of having to pay rent, right? Like, everything is force in our world, all structured by a patriarchal hierarchy, right? And then we devalue and alienate and suppress the emotions of half the species.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for fucking disaster.
And it has been. Look where we are.
Yeah.
We're not where we are today without that.
Yeah. Like, there's the reason that men live shorter lifespans on average than women is because of that devaluation, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just warfare. Like,
no.
It's not just violence. It's not just life-saving protection. It's like that one of the few ways we're allowed to openly express happiness or joy is when we're doing dangerous and risky shit.
Yeah.
Like,
dumb shit.
Like, I am way less likely to be shamed for jumping out of a plane or blowing something up for fun than I am by painting miniatures in public or playing with dolls with a friend's child, right? Like, I could be shamed for the one set of like innocuous fun things, right? But I won't be shamed for the cool ass thing. And I've jumped out of planes, and many of them.
The most distressing thing is that when you do those things that like you think you could be shamed for, you're often not.
Right.
Like, I used to sit and paint minis for hours at the bar. and everyone's like, "What are you doing? That's so cool."
Yeah, like
I'm like, look at my dwarf gnome guy.
We're finally building spaces for that, which I
Yeah.
think is a part of the big social conflict that we're having with like men socialized the ways that I'm talking about, right? Like struggling with the adaptions of the world that it is making, where things are becoming easier and more tolerated, etc. But it's still only for you. Like, and I don't mean like you specifically, but like you sitting at the bar in a public space that's like a welcoming, socially open, safe space for...
That's rare.
Right?
That's too rare.
Too rare. In comparison to being that bro with his other bros that if he does the gay shit, he'll be mocked. Right?
And it doesn't help that we've like destroyed all of our third spaces.
Yeah.
Like we have created the situation where there are no public spaces for us to have healthy engagement. So we are encouraged to spend all of our time on our devices, scrolling, getting information that is maladaptive.
Yeah, and telling us what it means to be a man.
Like you got fucking Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is like, for like 10 years now, has been telling young boys how to be men. And outside of the idea that they should genuinely take care of themselves and their spaces, which is good advice, he is like a mold-addled lunatic.
Yeah.
And he was being held up as like some sort of guru.
And the crazy shit is like a few of those pieces, like that good advice about men taking care of themselves, was actually like honestly good advice. Like a lot of men, many men, will never clean unless a girl or just company in general are coming over to their apartment.
You will feel better if you do it.
Yeah, you will feel better if you do it.
My space feels better.
But why don't they do it? Well, because men, for two reasons. Like, it's fascinating. It's two reasons. One is that they don't feel that they deserve it as much as the company.
Right.
Right? Like, they don't deserve the cleanliness to the same degree that company deserves. Other people deserve more than they do, right? So it's a devaluation of themselves there, okay? The other, and now this is that, like, crazy hot topic, and it's something that, like, a lot of women complain about how men seem to want a mom, right? Like, you're not wrong, ladies, but again, what was their sole source of unconditional love and value as a child?
Right. Their only
source.
In general.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are much luckier, but in general.
Yeah. Some people are luckier, some people are worse.
Yeah.
But in general, the only source...
Some people don't have it at all.
Yeah. The only source of emotional validation for a boy is that unconditional love of their mother early on who took care of them.
Right.
Right? And then, as they're growing into adulthood, that last vestige, because we're talking about how it often fades away before manhood, right? That period where it's fading away is that period where mom is teaching you how to clean, and she's doing the bulk of it until it becomes your thing, right? It fades as you learn how to do these things on your own, and you notice that's also when teen boys stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like, they stop taking care of the rooms.
Yeah.
Right? It's because, not just because moms stopped doing it for them, but because moms stopped doing it with them.
Right.
Right? And so now men as adults, right? Because they don't get that socialization.
Especially if they live alone.
Right. And that socialization as a child that women get with their mothers, right? Where they learn, like, cooking and cleaning as a social event, where they're not just doing it for the family. They're doing it with
the family. Yeah.
Right? Women get that growing up. Men... just they're either taken care of or expected to take care of themselves,
right,
from teenage on, right?
Yeah.
And those are their options. When they become adults, that transfers over,
right? But it sounds stupid, but like, you will probably have a slightly better day if you like make your bed when you wake up.
Yeah, like,
you know,
it's
move the dishes from the sink to the drying rack, like just the littlest vacuum once a week.
Yeah, these things really do help. It's hard.
It's like because I have to move the fucking table out of the way. Thursdays after recording are like my time to like vacuum the fucking floor.
Perfect. That gives you a little brain chemistry.
I got a good vacuum too.
But as far as like the socialization of it goes, yeah, men kind of are, and I don't mean this as like men are. It's just like broadly men are kind of looking for a mommy, but not for the reasons you think, ladies, right? Like some are. Don't get me wrong. Like, again, I'm talking about...
And some weaponize it.
Yeah. But I am not.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's true.
I am talking about the broad, not the outliers, right?
Yeah.
Like the significant percentages of men and women that fuck it up for everybody exist. So let's set them aside and just deal with what they're actually like. The underlying is that they experience this like condition of I'm going to provide for you, woman, right? You take care of me, okay? And that was the socialization that they got. They don't know much better. Like they've got to learn it.
Yeah.
And it's important that they learn it. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying let's have a little grace here because I understand why.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good topic, except I want to end it on that quote that we talked about. That one anecdote, the trans man story.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. So a while back, a couple years back,
Several years, yeah.
Several years now. There was a Tumblr post that went around that was really good. And it was about a trans man's experience post-transition and their culture shock. And many of you may remember this, but how it worked out was that they had finally been perceived as a man by society. And they noticed that like when they approached women or spaces with women, their experience was no longer warm but cold. They no longer experienced smiles but like aloofness. And they understood that it was probably for protection because they did that too.
Yeah, they knew what it was like to be on the other side.
Right. But they also remembered that it was like, wow, they used to enter these spaces and just get warmth, get validation for existing, right? And just their very existence in the space used to be welcoming and rewarding and give them that emotional validation they needed as a human. And that they realized that all the changes and differences in socialization, there was like, man, if I didn't know better and I was raised like this would really fuck my psyche up.
Yeah.
And the quote that really jumped out at me was, the view of the human species looks so much colder standing on this side. And that's where I wanted to leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got to crush the patriarchy and probably destroy monotheism.
I'm here for it.
I'm not against the idea.
Yeah. All right. This has been The Grift.
Until next week.
See ya.